Melissa and Joey is recorded in front of a live studio audience.
You know, Ariel, what I like best about Chamber of Commerce meetings? Coming back here and drinking it off.
Are you trying to get me drunk and have your way with me?
Hey, I haven't given up on men yet. But if I ever do, you are at the top of my if I were gay list.
That is so sweet. All right, I've got meetings with horrible people early tomorrow morning, so this is me getting my coat.
And this is me keeping the rest of the wine for myself.
Bye.
See ya.
Valerie, this is not that big of a deal.
It is to me. All I wanted you to do was meet my father.
I don't think I'm being unreasonable.
Find some other barista to make your skinny vanilla lattes. We're over, Joe Longo.
Wait a minute. Wait, hey!
Geez, Longo, would it have killed you to meet her father?
Sort of. Yeah, he died 2 years ago. She brought him over in a jar. She wanted me to meet his ashes.
Wow, big surprise. Another one of your lightweight ladies pops like a balloon and flies around the room.
It's too bad, too. Valerie was really something special. She's the only one who ever got my skinny vanilla lattes exactly right.
I am so sorry for your loss. But come on, she's not the first woman to storm out of here saying, "It's over, Joe Longo."
It is the first time a woman stormed out of here carrying a dead guy in a can.
You know, not that I'm keeping track, but since I've known you, you've dated nothing but these insubstantial, flaky crazies.
Hey, you forgot hot.
Okay, hot and flaky. You're dating puff pastries. You know, you need a woman who's more mature, more refined, more meaty.
Yeah, I do like 'em meaty. Like a lady pot pie.
You know what you need? You need a woman who's got goals and a career. You know, someone who's strong and independent, but sensitive and flirtatious. Someone like me. I mean, you know, that can stand you. Unfortunately, women like that don't just fly around like Mary Poppins on her umbrella.
Sorry, forgot my umbrella.
No.
It's all good. It's okay. It's all right. As far as I can see, it's all good. It's okay. It's all right. I guess you're stuck with me.
Sorry to barge in, but this is the 5th one of these I've bought in a month. I'm single-handedly supporting the umbrella industry of Toledo.
Okay. This is Ariel, my friend from the Chamber of Commerce, and this is Joe, my male nanny man.
Thank you for butchering that up, Burke. Hi.
Nice meeting you, Joe.
I was just going to say the exact same thing, except I was going to put your name in the Joe spot.
Ah, that's great. Okay, well, see you later, Ariel.
Bye, Joe.
Bye.
I am starving.
Hey, wait a minute. What about her, huh? Fix me up with Ariel.
No means no.
Hey, now come on. Look, you said I need someone classy and smart and who actually buries their dead.
Joe, please, Ariel is the goal. When you decide to go to the moon, you don't send your best guy first. You start off with a chimp.
So you want me to date a chimp?
Ariel is a CEO. She runs her own business. She is the dream. Ease into it, you know? Get your feet wet with a nice paralegal.
Ah, I see. So you don't think I can handle your little high-powered blazer lady friend?
Personally, I think you'd be stretching it with a chimp.
Is there anything you need? Can I get you something? Am I talking too much? Is this too many questions?
I'll be okay. What's with her, Haskell? Did something bad happen?
Yeah, the worst thing imaginable. They kicked her off the school block.
Oh, that's it? I mean, yes, of course, that is the worst thing imaginable. I transformed that blog. I got rid of stupid articles like, what if Twilight was real? I made it significant. I made it matter.
Who'd you piss off this time?
She called her gym teacher the Kim Jong-il of physical education.
It needed to be said. She's mean, and they have the same haircut. Maybe it didn't need to be written down.
I've been telling her she should start her own blog.
Yeah, she doesn't listen to other people.
I just had the greatest idea. I'm gonna start my own blog.
Good idea. I love hearing you think. Do you know how lucky I am?
I forget, how long have they been married?
They totally get each other. It's sickening.
I know. Speaking of great couples, you gonna hook me up with Ariel?
Fine, I'll call her for you, but, you know, I predict this whole thing's gonna blow up in your face. I mean, she may not even be interested in you.
Are you kidding? She saw me.
make a knit stitch, hold the needle you've cast onto in your left hand.
Got it.
Hold the yarn in your right hand.
Got it?
Insert the tip of the right needle into the first stitch of
Wait,
the
my
left
right or
needle
your right?
from front
Wait,
to back.
whoa, slow down. Hold on.
The right
Slow
needle
down.
under the
Hey,
left and bring the yarn under
Damn it,
between
pause!
the two needles. See? So simple, anyone can do it.
Oh, screw this. I'm knitting myself a glass of wine.
Hey there. What are you up to?
Knitting? Damn it. It's relaxing.
Nice. Well, I just got back from my first date with Ariel. You know, the one that you said was gonna blow up. And you were right. It did blow up. Like the 4th of friggin' July, baby.
Wait, she liked you? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say it that way. But she liked you?
Yeah, we got along great. And I have to admit, it was actually very refreshing to go out with the woman who was my intellectual peer. Basically. So, thank you.
That's it? Thank you? What's the twist? Where's the zinger?
There's no twist. There's no zinger. Oh, and tonight when we were at dinner, I ran into an old friend of mine from business school who is now, in fact, single, and I think would be perfect for you.
Perfect for what?
Perfect for you to go out with. All right? This is my way of saying thanks. Consider this friend of mine a muffin basket of man for you.
Joe, I don't think I'd be interested in any friend of yours.
And therein lies the problem. You hold all men up to an impossible ideal. I could walk George Clooney in here and you'd find fault with him.
Clooney does seem pretty self-involved.
Are you kidding?
I am not a fault finder.
You are the drug-sniffing dog of finding fault. You broke up with that one guy because he was too handsome.
I don't like to date anyone prettier than me.
What the... All right, I get that. What about that doctor that you broke up with, huh?
Well, he could never focus on me, you know? He was always checking in to see if some precious kidney had arrived at the airport. Talk about self-involved.
And that is my point. You always find the flaws.
Well, I have high standards.
Yeah, and all the mittens you can knit on a Saturday night.
Tell him to call me.
You will not be sorry.
Good. You know, just make sure he's not...
I'm sorry. Were you gonna say something?
Nothing.
How's your blog coming?
I've only got a few articles and half a format. And my site still needs a catchy name.
How about, the Daily Lennox or Nuggets from Scanlan?
I said catchy, not sucky.
Tranky Teen Girl. It's all about me. I'm the only one with problems.com.
Excuse me, I don't complain. I explain what's going on. I explain what people need to know.
How about Yappity Yap Yap? I'm giving you gold. You should be writing these down. Good luck with that one.
So, did you eat yet, or you want to get something at the movies?
Oh, God, I forgot. But I have so much to do for my blog. I don't even have a name for it yet.
Got it. I'm blonde as hell, and I'm not gonna take it anymore. I'm telling you, these are great.
Sorry, Haskell, but I really have to work.
Oh, okay, you've got work to do. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I've got some stuff to do myself.
Later, bye.
Wow, Lennox. Ouch.
What?
Well, Haskell looked really upset there.
What? No, he had things to do. He said he was cool.
Yeah, when a guy says it's cool, it's kind of like when we say, everything's fine.
Oh. I didn't mean to blow him off. I'm just so busy. No one has any idea how much work this blog thing is.
No, I think we do, because you keep telling us. You know, maybe you need to make a little more effort in your relationship.
I want to. Haskell's important to me. How do you do it all, Aunt Mel?
You can't. You're gonna have to give up something. I mean, look at me. I had to sacrifice my 6 a.m. workouts that I love so much. That one time I went.
No, I can do it all. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, you'll be the one. Hey, sorry I've got to rush out of here. I've got a blind date that Joe set me up with. You understand, right?
Sure, everything's fine.
Cool. All right, to know him is to love him.
Written by Phil Spector, recorded by the Teddy Bears in 1958.
Right again. Wow, okay, Earth Angel.
Williams and Belvin, released in 1955 by the Penguins.
Correct. You cannot be stumped.
I can also recite the U.S. vice presidents in reverse order. It is a freakish, useless gift.
I can fit my whole fist in my mouth, although it doesn't really impress the boyfriend's parents. Learned that the hard way.
Want some more cheesy garlic fries?
Oh, that might be the hottest thing a man has ever said to me. Excuse me for a second. I just gotta check in on the kids. I mean, not my kids, of course. My sister's kids.
Your much, much older sister, right? I mean, you're way too young to have kids. You're practically a teenager yourself.
Aw, you are scoring all kinds of points tonight. Yeah, but, you know, technically I am legal, so. Hi, Joe's voicemail. You said you wanted a mid-date report, so here it is. You know what, I have to admit, things are going really great. Hey, your friend Clark, he's terrific. So thank you. Straight up, no twist. Miss me?
You look familiar. Stick your fist in your mouth.
Oh, not on a first date. All right, stand by me.
Denise Garcia.
I don't know that version, but the original was the Drifters. But, you know, you got one wrong. It's okay. Have a garlic fry.
No, Denise Garcia is my ex-wife. That was our song. Sorry. I'm a little raw from the divorce.
Yeah, it must be hard to start dating so soon after a breakup.
Denise left me 89 weeks ago.
Just let it all out. And there's the twist.
Chubby Checker, 1959.
Welcome back.
Oh, you scared me.
I live here.
Yeah, that's what's scary.
So, I got your voicemail. You had a good date, huh? You like Clark, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, geez, the tight lips. Get ready for it, ladies and gentlemen. What is it? She found a flaw. Is he too tall? Is he too short? Was his heart beating at an unacceptable rate?
He can't stop thinking about his ex-wife.
Look at that. You just pick and pick and pick and pick till you find a flaw.
Believe me, I didn't have to pick at anything. It was right there on the surface like a big, open, weeping sore. And I mean weeping.
He's in touch with his feelings. Hey, did you ever consider that maybe, you know, you're the common denominator in all of your dating train wrecks? Maybe the problem is you.
Oh, I'm the problem? People don't want to go out with me?
Those are your words.
Aha! It's from Clark. What do you know? He wants to go out with me again. He doesn't think I'm the problem. He called me Denise in the text. I'm sure that's just a typo. Mel Denise. Oh, boy.
Now, don't give up on Clark just yet. He's a good guy, all right? A blind date is a very stressful situation. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna do you a favor, all right? Let's do a double date. Because, you know, sometimes being in a group takes a lot of the pressure off.
Double date? Really? What is this, High School Musical?
My idea is flawed. It has a fault.
Okay, fine. You know what? We're all gonna go out together, and I'm sure it'll be flawless.
Maybe tone down the sarcasm just a little bit.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. Wow, it's like a disease with me. Oh, I need my hand. It's a note for the drama club story. Last interruption, I promise.
We can turn this off.
No, this is good. I can write and date and do it all. Oh, this is the teacher that got fired that I wanted to interview.
You know what? Go ahead. We'll watch the movie another night. It's cool.
No, cool? No, not cool. Stay, please, stay. Hey, Miss Cunningham. No, I'm not in the middle of anything. You're super important to me. Now, sit down on the couch. What? Really? Can I quote you on that?
I'll read about it on the blog.
It's not on the menu.
Maybe later.
I'm hoping so.
Hey, Clark, how about we hit the dance floor, shake our groove thing?
Denise had a groove thing.
Thanks. You know, this whole double date thing really took his mind off his ex. Wish I was knitting right now, then I'd have some needles I could poke in my eyes.
You know, it's not just about the other person, Burke, all right? It's also about what you bring out in the other person. That's the secret to my success. See, I bring out the best in women.
You know what you bring out in me? This line right here. Margarita?
Margarita? That was Denise's middle name.
Yeah, well, it's my middle name, too. Waiter!
Oh, come on, we have to dance.
Yeah, dancing isn't really my thing.
That's because you never danced with me.
I'm sure you're good, but no.
Little known fact, dancing with me has made blind people see.
Okay, one dance.
There we go. That's the spirit. Come on now. Come on, here we go.
I'm sorry, Mel, this must be the worst date you've ever been on.
Not the worst, you know. I didn't come back from the bathroom to find you wearing my bra and panties.
The night is young.
See? You're fun.
I want to bring that out in you, Clark.
You're so sweet and forgiving and uncritical.
I know, right?
Hey, Haskell.
Everybody at school said I should read your blog, so I checked it out.
I worked really hard on that.
So this Haskell you're apologizing to, that's me, right?
It is. I just feel awful. No more distracted dating. I won't do that to you ever again.
Oh, you will. And that's why I brought over my stuff. We're gonna sit here and do our own separate things. Together.
Oh, you know what? We could stop every 20 minutes and take makeout breaks.
Yeah, that's good, because I've heard frequent breaks from the computer prevent eye strain. And other kinds of strain.
Oh, yeah. In fact, it's good to start with a break right away.
Hey, I got it. The name for your blog.
Give up already.
Lennox explains it all.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Totally original.
Pretty great, huh?
Yeah, it's great. Now get out. Where were we? Oh, yeah. Eye break.
I was so embarrassed after that first date. I barely had the courage to ask you out again, so I texted real fast before I lost my nerve.
Oh, well, I'm glad you did. You know, everybody deserves a second chance.
Right. So, I am gonna give this tomatillo sauce one more shot. Hoo-ha, hoo-ha, hoo-ha.
Yeah, you know, that extra mile to get you every time.
Hey, you wanna dance?
Really? You sure?
Yeah,
You don't have to.
I want to.
Oh, this is the rumba. Come on, we have to dance to this one.
I need to sit down. That's enough for me.
No, just one more.
I did it once, okay? Look, I didn't even want to come here tonight.
I know, but you know, seeing as we did everything you wanted to do on all of our other dates, I think it's only fair that you do what I want to do tonight and give my choice a try.
Well, I tried it, and I didn't like it.
You sure about that? I saw you smiling out there. I think you liked it.
Joe, I was smiling to be polite. Notice I am no longer smiling. I'm gonna go home now.
Wait a minute. Don't.
It's over, Joe Longo.
Ariel? What just happened?
Mel,
Yeah?
holding you close like this?
Yes, Clark?
Looking into your eyes.
I think I feel it too.
I miss my wife so much.
Your ex-wife, Clark.
No, maybe not. You said yourself. Everyone deserves a second chance.
Yeah, I said it. I didn't mean it.
I'm gonna go yell outside her apartment window right now. Screw that restraining order! I'm throwing myself on the mercy of the love court!
Wow. Guy's got a real problem, huh?
Yeah, you think?
So, where's Ariel?
Oh, she had to leave. She had an emergency.
What kind of emergency?
The not liking me kind?
Ah, great. So both our dates crapped out, and this night's gonna end at 8:17? Well, I'm not going home now.
Yeah, that'd be pathetic.
So, should we, like, dance?
Why the hell not?
You know, Joe, I don't get it. We're both fixed up by really smart people.
Experts who did everything exactly right.
Yep. But I just seem to bring out the crazy in Clark.
Well, you do have a gift.
You know, this whole finding the right person thing is really hard.
It is, but you know, that's why you just have to keep trying, you know, because somewhere out there is a man with a very, you know, high level of tolerance who will one day come into your life and sweep you off your feet. Flawlessly.
Aw. Joe, that's so sweet. And, you know, I'm sure somewhere out there is a woman, probably a deaf one, who will, you know, be willing to put up with all the things that make you so you.
Yeah. Ow!
Sorry.
You stop trying to lead, please. Just let me lead.
That's not leading, that's shoving me around the dance floor.
The man leads, the woman follows. That's how it works.
Okay, just shut up and dance.
Morning.
Hi.
So, see you Friday, Joe?
Absolutely.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Phil.
Is Phil her Ash Daddy?
He is a really great guy. Just don't sneeze around him. Melissa and Joey is recorded in front of a live studio audience.
Wow, Jackie, this might be the hardest shopping decision you'll ever have to make. Yeah, no return policy on this.
Ooh, what are you guys buying? Boots, purses?
Sperm for Jackie's baby.
No, that is not a purse.
You know, this isn't exactly how I pictured myself doing this when I was younger.
I think it's great. Yeah, I think it's about time women your age stopped waiting and hoping and praying for the right man.
Exactly how old do you think we are? All right, I got it narrowed down to two, V117 and L245. Can we give them names, please? Calling them by number sounds like you're ordering from a Chinese restaurant.
Hey, no need to order Chinese when you got, Italian. Hello, Jackie. You should stick around. I'm gonna pop a little something in the oven.
So are you. Okay, all right. L245 is blonde hair, Nordic heritage, English teacher, plays lead guitar in local band. Lars Van Halen. What? I'm just giving him a name. All right. In his personal statement, Lars says, "Life is a blank page. I write a poem on it every day." Ugh, you don't find DNA like that sitting on a bar stool. Okay, and bachelor number 2, early 30s, Italian-American. Vincenzo Boiardi. Ah, I'm great at this. I should have my own sperm naming business. Go on. Ivy League financial executive, speaks Japanese. Now, extremely fit, great dancer. Geez, Vincenzo could pass for Joe. Oh, sensitive, good listener. Nope, definitely not Joe. Well, Vincenzo's practically a chef. I mean, apparently his spicy Parmesan Diavolo will blow you away. Wow, all this man shopping's making me really hungry. Hey, Longo, what's on the menu?
A little something I like to call spicy Parmesan Diavolo.
Tell me that's a popular Italian dish.
Nope, it's all mine. And it will blow you away.
It's all good, it's okay, it's all right, as far as I can see. It's all good, it's okay, it's all right, I guess you're stuck with me.
Thank you for helping me with this, Mel. I'll let you know which one of my little swimmers gets the gold medal. Bye. So, that, dinner sure smells good. Wow, you really enjoy cooking, don't you? Almost as much as you enjoy staying fit, speaking Japanese, being Italian.
You like watching me, don't you?
Yeah, I was just thinking, you know, random thought. People do some strange things for money, right? You know, like once I was paid $50 to dance in a cage. It was a fundraiser for the zoo. So how about you? What's the, most degrading thing you ever did for money?
By far, this.
No, seriously, what's the wackiest thing you ever did for cash? You know, like you ever sell anything from your body, blood, hair, male reproductive stuff?
Burke, I'm trying to cook here, okay?
Funny story, you know, Jackie wants to have a baby and she's considering a donor who just happens to be Italian, Ivy League, extremely fit.
That could be a lot of guys.
And he makes a spicy Parmesan Diavolo that will blow you away.
cowboy.
I knew it! You're Vincenzo!
What? Who?
That's what we named the can of the, you. Come on, spill it, Vincenzo. Oh, then again, you already have.
Well, all right, fine. It was after the scandal, and I needed some money, okay? So, the sperm bank website was very persuasive. It said, be your own boss, make your own hours. I don't know, it just kind of sucked me in. Oh, will you grow up?
What were you thinking?
What was I thinking? I was thinking about making the rent, okay? Oh, and, Jessica Alba. So I just, would stop by the cryo place whenever I needed some quick cash.
What? I can't believe you might be having a kid with my best friend.
What? No, that cannot happen, all right? You gotta talk Jackie out of using Liquid Longo.
Absolutely, I'm gonna do that. The last thing this trouble world needs is any more of you.
And look, whatever you do, do not tell her it's me, all right? Because, honestly, Burke, this is the one thing in my life I've done that I'm not proud of.
Oh, but you're okay being the vice president of a company that lost $1 billion?
$1 billion, Burke. How many people can say that?
And the garage sale was a total washout until we found...
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis.
Wait, you paid $50 for a used book? What does it do, shoot lasers?
It's a first edition.
Yeah, well, I bet I could find it for less.
Well, it doesn't matter what we paid for it because it's our favorite book. He saw me reading it one day and he said, that's my favorite book.
Yes, I did. I said it right to her. And now it's the first thing we ever bought together.
Yes, it is, baby boo.
You're a right boo, baby.
Hey, check this out. This auction site says that your book is worth $1,500.
No way, that's great. We're rich.
Yeah, in theory.
And in cash. Here's one that just went for $2,000.
No way, wow. We could buy matching Vespas and have enough left over for an Xbox.
Are you serious? You'd sell it?
Sure, yeah, that's a lot of money.
What does that matter? This is C.S. Lewis.
Lennox, come on. If C.S. Lewis were here right now, she'd say sell it.
She?
Here we go.
C.S. Lewis is a man. Did you even read the book?
Sure, duh. Yeah, it's our favorite book.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, then, tell me about Narnia.
She's the little girl. The Cowardly Lion.
Oh, my God.
Simba's dad?
Bad road, man.
You lied to me. You never read it.
I tried, but there were no guns, and I kept falling asleep. And then I rented the movie, but they put the wrong disc in, so I watched Anchorman. Now, that is a great story.
Just stop talking.
You said you loved literature.
Yeah, I was trying to share your interest. Look, how about we sell the book, split the money, and then go back to the way things were before?
Things cannot go back to the way they were before because your hatred of books has changed things forever.
Can't believe you're making such a big deal out of this. Calm down.
You want me to calm down? Oh, I'll calm down.
She's not gonna calm down. Can you believe that guy? Book-selling bastard.
Okay, I want you to be the first to know it's Lars who gets discarded.
What?
Yep, Vincenzo gets the gold. But no. Look, you haven't given Lars a fair shake. He's a middle school English teacher. How hot is that? Sorry, I woke up this morning just really feeling Vincenzo. Okay. You want an Italian? There's like 4 of them in here. You could get them all. Make your own house blend. No, I'm a purist. I'm sticking with Vincenzo. I like the whole package. I like who he is. No, you don't. You definitely don't. Because Vincenzo is Joe. Which Joe? My Joe, Nanny Joe. Not a good choice for a father, Joe. Joe. Wow. I know, right? Close call. You don't have to thank me. But you can. No, really, you can. Mel, the reason I was having a hard time picking one of these anonymous donors is because of all the unknowns. But now I know it's Joe. Oh, you put a face on that sperm. But it's Joe's face. Joe's smug little face. Yes. Thank you, Mel. You have really eased my mind about this. Hey, Joe it is. Oh, joy. My nanny is spawning. Hey.
Hey! All right, you're back from Jackie. How did everything go?
Sometimes there is no talking to women.
Burke, you were supposed to stop her.
Yeah, I tried, but her uterus is like a freight train.
Okay, that's it. We have to pull out all the stops here. You have my permission to go nuclear, all right? You tell Jackie that I am Vincenzo.
I did, but that doomsday device didn't detonate. Jackie is determined to have a baby you in a skin-tight onesie, bench pressing his rattle.
I don't want to have a baby with Jackie, all right? Look, if I'm going to have a baby, I don't want to know who the mother is.
Oh, and they say romance is dead.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean, all right? Because if Jackie has my baby, then, you know, it's bound to happen. She's going to bring the baby over here, and of course it's going to be just so friggin' adorable.
Okay, new plan. You go down to the cryo bank and buy back all your cryo.
Buy back my own stuff? How's that going to look, huh?
Well, tell them it's a recall. You just discovered you have a genetic defect, you know? You were born with your head up your ass.
Did you know men are horrible?
I invented men are horrible. What clued you in?
Haskell pretended to like something just because I like it.
Oh, honey, that's great. That's the goal. You know, only someone who really liked you would go through the trouble of faking that.
You don't understand. He wants to sell our book because money means more to him than I do.
I'm sure that's not true. You just gotta give him a chance to prove it.
But wouldn't that be manipulative in an evil girl sort of way?
Oh, well, I would never suggest you do that.
That would be wrong.
Very wrong. Oh, a tweet from Jackie. Congratulate me, everybody. Today is baby making day, and I'm going shopping for the secret ingredient. Oh, my God. Jackie, stop. Am I too late? Did you already buy the stuff? Oh, look at that baby. Pictures. You're so cute. Oh, sorry. Big blast of hormones. Okay, I'm focused.
Mel, my mind's made up.
I know you think that, but oh, there's twins. Oh, aren't you the cutest little thing? I'm good. We're talking about Joe. Joe, you know, your baby's first words will be, you know what this breast milk needs? A little basil. I've already put in my order. Jacqueline Miller? Yes, I am Jacqueline Miller, and I've changed my mind. No genetic material for me today. Everyone else can fill her up. Mel, I'm Jacqueline Miller.
I'm sorry, but the donor you're interested in is no longer available.
Really? I mean, really? But I wanted him.
So does a couple that wants a large family. They bought out our entire supply last week. Would you like to choose another donor?
No, I've had my heart set on Vincenzo. Oh, honey, it's okay. Someday your prince will come. Along. You're off the hook. Cheers.
Hey, yes! Thank you, Burke. I owe you.
Wasn't just me. Some other couple beat Jackie to your entire stock.
So, I was, sold out?
Yes, you were on back order.
It's kind of cool.
Cool?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I may never meet the right woman, so this, you know, may be the only way for me to pass on to mankind, the gift of me.
Mankind might prefer to exchange you for a nice sweater.
Yeah? Well, that couple knew a good father when they saw one.
You're not a father. You're genetic material.
I don't see a big run onto the banks to get your eggs.
That's because I keep my reproductive stuff right here where nobody can get at it. Some of us have respect for our bodies. Oh, my God. That is love in a can.
So what's Jackie gonna do now?
You know, she'll move on. She'll regroup. She's very resourceful. Hey, let's play charades. Who am I?
Yeah. Oh, hey, Jackie. Mel's not here.
I'm not actually looking for Mel.
Oh?
Aren't you gonna ask me in?
Please come in.
I'm sure Mel told you how disappointed I was that your stock was sold out.
Yeah, that's the free market for you, you know? Supply and demand, what are you gonna do?
Demand more supply. Maybe see when the next shipment is expected?
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be going down to the, cryo bank anytime soon.
Well, what do you say we just cut out the middleman and go direct to the manufacturer? Hello, manufacturer.
Actually, Jackie, that factory's been shut down. I mean, actually, no, it still works. It still works very well. But it's just, it's being a little more selective now, strictly for private events. So I'm positive, though, there are plenty of other guys out there that'd be willing to help you out.
I don't want any other guys. I want you, Joe Longo.
Thirsty? Well, I suddenly just became really parched. So can I get you water or soda or something?
How about a cup of Joe?
That's a little double thing there, huh?
Hey, come on, don't you want part of you to live on for future generations?
I have thought about that.
I mean, I want perfection, and you practically have it.
Oh, Jackie, please, I'm flattered that you think I'm... Practically? You know what? No, I just don't think that this is the right thing to do.
Okay, all right, I understand. Look, you need a little time to think about it. Hey, is there a place we could go that's a little more private? To talk.
You want to talk?
Ooh, real bad.
Glad you called. I know how mad you were.
I was, but I needed to see you.
In the garage. Near power tools. You sure you're still not mad?
Not at all. I've been thinking. If you want to sell the book and I want to keep it, then there's only one way to resolve this. Divide it evenly.
The money.
No, the book. Cut it in half.
What the hell? Lennox, stop! I want you to have the book. Maybe I'm not into poetry or fiction as much as you are, but I just wanted to make you happy. All I want is for you to be happy.
All I want is for me to be happy.
See, we're both interested in the same thing.
Aw, you passed with flying colors.
Wait, this was a test?
No, that would be wrong. But luckily, Haskell passed the test. Not that it was a test, but it was a test, a big test.
Took a pretty big gamble. If he hadn't stopped you, you'd have destroyed your precious book.
Yeah, I came very close to destroying this copy of The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. In Espanol.
Wow. You're diabolical.
Sí, muy diabólica.
Look what someone bought me. Expensive new shoes.
Ooh, who got them for you?
I did. Sometimes I think I'm spoiling me.
Is there an occasion?
Yes, I have pretty feet. And something very bad did not happen today.
What?
Oh, it would be inappropriate for me to tell you. Let's just say, trust me and be happy for all of us. Oh, the tweet from Jackie. Okay, folks, trying again for a baby. This time the old-fashioned way. I should probably read these in my head before I say them out loud.
So, Jackie's hooking up with a new guy? Back in the saddle? Riding the range?
Okay. Yes.
How'd she find somebody so quickly?
Oh, you know, Jackie, you can't keep her away from men. She's always leaving her jacket places. And her purse. Holy crap! This is nothing significant. At all. Tell me what you looked like as a baby.
Jackie, I can't lie. I was adorable.
So was I. Oh, this kid would have like 100% chance of being the most gorgeous baby ever conceived.
Yeah, I guess it's really just math.
Yeah, you can't deny the world that. I mean, Joe, this is not about the pure sensual pleasure between two people. Although there is that. But this is about doing what's best for mankind.
Yeah, mankind. I mean, I love mankind. Mankind rocks.
Jackie, what are you doing? Ovulating. Get out. I need need to talk to Joe, okay? So put your eggs back in your pants. Don't you see what's happening?
Yeah, we were just talking about it. It's very simple, Burke. It just boils down to future generations, math, and possibly the world's hottest baby.
This is not the way you do this.
You know, I was thinking about that, and if I'm gonna have a baby, this may be the best way for me to do it.
Okay, becoming a parent is not something you do on impulse, like buying Hubba Bubba at the checkout counter.
Joe has already made up his mind.
No, Jackie, I'll handle this, all right? Look, if I'm gonna have a baby, it's gonna be my choice and nobody else's. Except, you know, maybe the other person.
And that other person is standing right here.
Jackie, if this is meant to happen, it can happen tomorrow.
No, my fertility app says tonight is the night. Come on, Joe, you're really gonna keep all this perfection to yourself?
She's really making a lot of sense here, Burke.
She's just using you.
Mel, this is between Joe and me.
Okay, well, the real reason you guys can't do this is because I want to have Joe's baby.
What?
I got this. What?
Joe, I want what you've got. I've always wanted to have your perfect baby.
Mel, I had no idea.
Neither did I. Though I get it.
Jackie, I'm sorry. You're my best friend. I should have told you.
No, I'm sorry. I mean, if I had known, I would have never gone after Joe. I mean, you knew him first, so, you know, he's yours.
Well, if you hurry, I think you can still get some Lars before the bank closes.
Yeah, I guess I should move on. I mean, I got a few more good hours and a few more good eggs left. Hey, you know what? No time to waste. Thanks, Mel. Oh, Joe. Good times.
Burke? What you were just saying...
Wow, Jackie is so gullible. Me wanting you?
Yeah. I don't even know how I kept a straight face there, but I knew what you were doing. I was following right along with you.
Oh, like I'd ever want to have your baby.
Like I'd ever let you have my baby.
All right.
Hey, guys. Everybody comfy? Rest up for the big race. Mommy loves you.
Okay, I'm gonna officially call that a nightmare. Melissa and Joey is recorded in front of a live studio audience.
Come on, Travis, it's a silent auction. You know, so I was bidding on stuff. I was helping the city.
You paid $200 for a dinner with yourself.
After a heated bidding war with myself. You know, I didn't want to be one of those, leftover auction items that's pathetic at the end of the night. You know, it was just been me and the ride-along with the sanitation department.
Wouldn't call that pathetic.
You bought that?
They let you push the button that smashes everything.
Yeah, money well spent. Well, now that I've got you back here at my bachelorette lair, let's get down to it. Leftovers, I'm starving.
Yeah, I didn't find that dinner they put out very...
Edible?
That's the word.
Well, don't worry. I guarantee you will do better here tonight. I mean, with the food. Okay, mozzarella salad, squash blossom stuffed with ricotta and herbs, and buttermilk fried chicken.
Wow, is this all homemade?
Yep, made right here in my home.
What is in this batter? You have to tell me.
I can't, because it's, secret batter stuff. Still not gonna say. Might say, you should keep trying. Tastes like chicken.
I don't know when you have the time to cook all this.
Neither do I.
You are unbelievable.
Can't argue with that.
Hi. Hello?
Oh, Travis, this is Joe. Joe is my all-round, all-purpose nanny / not chef.
Oh, good. Because there's nothing more awkward than walking in and meeting your date's husband or boyfriend or their naked mom in the hallway. Trust me, I've walked in on a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah, well, don't mind me. I just came down here to get some leftovers. These are unbelievable, aren't they? My compliments to the chef.
Yeah. What is the secret?
Want to know what the secret is, Travis? I'm going to tell you what the secret is.
Joe.
No. Come on. He deserves to know what the secret is. The secret, Travis, is, paprika.
And now you know.
Paprika. Yeah, I get the good stuff from Canada.
Yep, she's got a million secrets just like that, Travis. Paprika, grown in the beautiful Canadian Rockies.
I hope we can do this again sometime.
Well, here you go. Look, good for one dinner with a hot councilwoman. Just so we're clear, it's me.
I guess you're stuck with me.
Ryder, what's the rule about texting at the table? Don't get caught?
He's texting Holly. She had to go to Cincinnati for her great aunt's funeral.
Well, she's giving me a list of TV shows I'm not supposed to watch until she gets back. What? She could tell by my tone of voice who got voted off Project Runway.
Dude, there were just so many things wrong with that sentence.
Hey, she knows what she likes, okay? And she likes me. She said I'm totally fixable.
Like a dog.
Such a good boy, though.
Hey, it's Supergirl. Look at this. Come here. Fly over here and taste this. I want you to tell me if it needs any of your, magic Canadian paprika.
Let it go, Longo.
Look, I can let your lie go, but, I can't speak for Travis.
What is the big deal? It wasn't a lie. It was just a tiny omission of truth. He assumed I made the meal, and for me to point out his error would have been impolite.
Yeah, sure. There's nothing ruder than the truth.
Look, Joe, okay, if a woman saw you standing in front of a Porsche and she said, nice car, you'd say thank you, even if it wasn't your car.
What? No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, you would. I saw you do it at the mall last week.
Ryder's been texting at the table. Hey, Mel.
Travis, what are you doing here?
I couldn't stop thinking about last night. Those squash blossoms were so good, I wanted to grow another ton.
Ooh, that's a very intriguing idea. Go on.
I'm here to redeem my certificate for dinner with a hot councilwoman. How's Saturday?
That's great. Yeah, there's that new Chinese place just opened downtown.
I was thinking, how about we cook a meal together?
We who?
We you. You'd cook the whole thing, I'll do all the shopping, I'll even clean up afterwards.
Wait, are you sure you don't want to try the Chinese place? Because they have a killer Kung Pao. I mean, you think you're blown away by the Kung, and then pow!
Mel, it's been a bad year. Since I found out about my girlfriend's delightful secret life, don't ask, I've been alone and eating all my meals out of takeout boxes. It says here, good for a dinner with Mel Burke at the place of my choice. I choose your place with your home cooking. What do you say? Candles, music, white wine?
Look, Travis, I have to be completely honest with you. I don't like white wine. Longo! Shh, I'm trying to work.
You're watching cartoons.
It's Ratatouille.
In what universe does that work?
Okay, Travis is coming over Saturday night for dinner, which he asked me to make in front of him. So I am just trying to teach myself how to cook a gourmet meal in, 76 hours.
By watching an animated rat. It's like learning how to swim by watching SpongeBob.
Please, Joe, just let me get back to my research. Just go cook dinner with your masterful culinary skills.
Ooh, you like this guy, don't you?
I do. I really do.
And you're screwed.
Please, Joe, please. Would you teach me how to make an amazing meal?
Would I teach you how to make an amazing meal? What?
Would you teach me how to make an amazing meal? Oh, Lord of the Pans.
I like that.
Okay, so I'm going to grab us some snacks and then we can go study up in my room.
Or here. This area is, fine. Really.
Trust me, Noelle, my room will be a lot less annoying.
I don't know. I mean, there's something about this room. It's kind of cute. Sup?
Sup?
Is the seat taken?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll get out of your way.
No.
I mean, you can stay. Please, stay. Whatever. I don't care.
See you later.
Wish it was later.
Really? My little brother? He still has a Yoda pillowcase. Freaking Yoda!
All right, here we go. Now we're gonna get started, all right? So reach your hand inside the bird and pull out the giblets.
I hardly know this chicken. You really want me to go to third base with him?
Get in there and get the giblets.
And what exactly are giblets?
Are you kidding me? It's the heart, the neck, the liver, the gizzards.
What gizzards? Okay, now you're just making this crap up.
Quit whining and get in there and pull out the giblets. Let's go. Come on.
How will I know when I found? Oh, okay, I found them.
Oh, it's a boy.
All right. Put your hand inside the cavity. Put it in there. Put a little pressure on it, and then start massaging the breast. Okay? Here we go. All right. Put a little this. What are you doing? What is it? What's this? What's this? Can you massage it? Rub harder, okay? There we go.
Jeez, I feel like we should light some candles and pop in an Enya CD. How's the pressure? Is it too hard? Are you staying here at the hotel? That's a little chicken humor.
I should probably tell you, you don't have to keep your hand in there anymore.
We can study at your house tomorrow if you want. You know, just for a change.
No, there are things here you won't find at my house.
No. See, okay, let me explain this to you in a calm, unemotional way. He is my little nose-picking brother. If people see you guys together at school, they'll mock me. You, I'm only thinking of you.
I'm thinking of me too. So, what you doing?
I don't know. Sitting?
You are so funny. So, who are you always texting? Is it your girlfriend?
Yes, he has a girlfriend. A mean little girlfriend.
Yeah, normally at this time of the day, she and I sit on the swing together. Even though she's out of town, she still wants me to stick to the schedule.
Oh, well, if your schedule opens up, here's my number. And don't wash your arm until you call me.
Ugh. Wait, Lennox. Wait, what was that about? Last time someone wrote on me was at camp. I woke up with boobs drawn on my forehead.
This isn't a prank. Noelle is seriously crushing on you.
Wait, what? Why? She's cute and popular, and I'm the kind of guy who, you know...
Walks around with boobs on his forehead for 3 days.
It was permanent marker. I rubbed those boobs as hard as I could. They would not come off.
Look, you cannot be dating one of my friends. It's in the Bible. Nerds and normals shall not hook up. Just stick with Holly. She's sweet and lovable.
You call her a ball buster.
Okay, I've called her worse than that. Move on. Look, you've got to tell Noelle it's not happening.
Unless...
Dinner, guys.
Hey, Joe, tell me something. Is it possible I could, like, go out with 2 girls at the same time?
Dude, you get upset when your carrots touch your peas.
Dig in. Chicken stuffed with tapenade and chorizo, prosciutto wrapped asparagus, and fingerling potatoes.
Wow, Joe. What's the occasion?
The occasion is your aunt made dinner. No thanks.
I'm not hungry.
No, guys, it's okay. I oversaw everything. You guys are gonna be the guinea pigs for your aunt's social life, so dig in and enjoy.
Wow, Aunt Belle, this is actually pretty good.
Oh, it's better than good. It's like Joe good.
I did it. I can cook. Yeah, suck it, Rachel Ray.
Okay, all utensils are lined up. You got your little cheat sheets posted everywhere, right?
Yes, I do. Oh, this one should be closer to the stove.
Hey, Bert, take a deep breath. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, you're right. Thanks, Longo. I really appreciate you coming through for me. Oh my gosh, get out! You gotta get out of here. He can't see you in the kitchen.
That is not Travis yet, okay? Hey there.
Hey, Joe.
How are you?
I'm Candy.
Ah, of course you are.
Candy is studying to be a masseuse.
I need 100 hours of hands-on experience to get certified.
Yeah, so I'm helping her out, letting her put her hands all over me.
Selfless to a fault.
That's me. That's me. No, I just feel that, a masseuse is a terrible thing to waste.
Travis!
Hey, your nephew let me in. Can't stop smiling about something. Neither can I. So we all ready to go?
Yeah, absolutely. Never been more ready. Step one, we will rinse the chicken.
Actually, Mel, slight change of plans. There's no chicken. Salmonella outbreak.
Salmonella? Wait, that only kills like 1 in 5 people. I mean, 1, 2, we're good.
You're hilarious, Mel. No, look what I got instead. Fresh Maine lobster flown in today.
But chicken, I know chicken. I was, gonna, rub the breast and stuff the cavity.
Oh, we'll stuff the lobsters. Let's grab me.
Well, if they're flying all this stuff in from Maine, why can't they fly in a few damn chickens?
Oh my goodness.
How's that pressure?
It's amazing. You should really be a PhD in this.
Really? You'd certify me?
I would certify you right now.
Joe! Mayday! Mayday!
Hey, what are you doing? You can't just burst in here. Candy's right in the middle of studying for her deep tissue midterm.
No chickens, salmonella outbreak, scary lobsters, help.
Are you kidding me? Can you at least get outside, please, until she turns me over?
No, you've got to help me. I need a new plan.
Oh, jeez. All right.
I got a plan for you. How about this one? Find a rat that's a really good cook, hide him underneath your chef's hat, and overnight you'll be the toast of Paris.
Joe, be serious. I mean, if I could hide, Wait a minute. That's not a bad idea. Come on, rat. Let's get you under my hat. All right, can you see me?
Unfortunately, yes. All right, so you're gonna want to bring the water to a rolling boil.
Mel! I almost forgot these in the car. I brought them for you.
Oh, I love them. Put them outside. Handsome. Okay, I'm back.
Okay, now, once the water is boiling, you're gonna take the lobsters and you're gonna put them in the pot.
But that'll kill them.
Grow a pair, Burke.
Hey, ML, I really gotta talk to you.
Yeah, it's not a good time.
You know what's the worst time? Having your reputation ruined because your little brother is about to start dating one of your friends.
Noelle? Hot Noelle? She'll eat him alive.
She would. Oh, thank you.
Anytime. Okay. Joe, look, I've been checking all over. Do these guys have giblets? Because I don't see any way in.
Are you talking to me?
No, lobster. I like to explain the procedure because, I feel like they're more relaxed. They taste better.
All right. Ready for my next assignment?
Okay, yeah, it's, candles. Yes, candles. Whoa, too fast. That's, not enough. Here. These are better. Light these and put them around the patio.
How many do you want?
All of them. Yeah, the more candles, the better the mood. Everybody knows that. Okay. All right, where were we?
Hey, Mel, have you seen my... Oh, there it is.
Whoa, get your hands off that thing.
Oh, it's mine.
No, but I paid for it.
Holly heard that Noelle likes me and she wants to chat, like right now.
Please accept video chat from Holly.
Hey, Ryder. I was just up with Lennox and I was wondering...
Noelle? Oh, my God.
Please accept video chat from Holly.
You were studying with Lennox. Can you just go back up there?
I'd rather be with you.
Video chat accepted.
Oops. Hi, Holly. It's Holly. Well, that's gonna void the warranty.
It's gonna void my life.
All Ryder. What a terrible tragedy. Your girlfriend saw us.
What the heck's going on down here? I heard a struggle and a splash, and then I lost you.
I can't do this anymore, Joe. I give up.
After we've come this far, no way. Move out of the way. Give the rat the tongs. Here we go. You really can't follow a recipe.
That's it.
I'm just gonna have to come clean and tell Travis that I'm a fraud. You know, he'll probably never speak to me again.
Why? Because you can't cook? I mean, come on, any reasonable guy would be flattered that a woman like you went to all this trouble for him. Now, take that lobster and give him a nice hot bath. You can do it.
I can't. Look at those cute little eyes up there.
I'll help you. Hey, buddy, it's time for a nice hot bath. You ready? And in the water. There we go. Look at that, you did it.
I did it. This is great. I mean, not for you. Sorry. Hey, what are you doing out here?
Well, you know, I was in there with Noelle, and she was massaging my neck, and it felt so good, and then I just had to get out of there.
How'd you escape?
I told her I needed to smoke.
Good cover.
Dude, I made a complete mess of it. Holly saw me with Noelle, and now I'm dead.
Why do you care? I mean, it seems like you've already made your decision.
I have?
Yeah. You're Noelle's boy now. Congratulations.
I thought you didn't want me dating your friend.
Oh, I was just being selfish. You and Noelle clearly have something special.
Yeah. And that is...
I can't define it, but it's there. And with Noelle being a more experienced woman who's been with tons of boys, upperclassmen, even a couple of college guys, I hear, she'll be expecting a lot. But, you know, you can handle that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the safe old days with Holly, over. That was the sandbox. Welcome to the Thunderdome.
I want Holly. I want her back.
You sure?
More than anything.
Well, okay, it's your decision.
It is. And I've just got to go in there and tell Noelle it's over. Would you do that for me?
Yeah, I'll do that. Just go take a walk and finish your fake smoke.
Thanks. You're a great sister.
I should teach a class.
All right, so put equal amount of stuffing on each plate, add the sides. You are good to go, okay?
Oh, thanks, Longo. Hey, we really did it, didn't we?
Yeah, I guess we did. We make a pretty good team.
Yeah, Burke and Longo, one hell of a team. Now get upstairs before Travis finds out about us.
Too late? I can't believe I keep walking in on stuff like this. Well, at least you two have your clothes on.
Well, of course we have clothes on. We were cooking. I mean, I was cooking. Look, okay, Joe was cooking. Look, everything you ate the other night was stuff that Joe made.
It's true. Yeah, I mean, she can't cook. She's an awful cook. But she's got a lot of other great qualities. None of which are coming to my mind right now, but I know they're in there somewhere.
Oh, come on, you guys have a thing.
Nothing. Why do people think that?
We are a man and a woman who live together and we're raising a couple of kids. How is that a relationship?
I mean, he doesn't even really live in the house. He lives way, way, way out there over the garage, you know? In fact, he has another woman in his room right now.
I do. I always do.
I'm not getting into the middle of this. It's not going to happen to me again. One of these days, I'm gonna walk in on something normal.
Wow, that guy has some issues.
Yep. I mean, we're just two friends doing what friends do.
Exactly, friends. I mean, being there for each other no matter what.
Joe, are you coming back?
See ya.
You know, Joe, dinner with you is a lot less pressure. I mean, I can get food in my teeth, spill butter all over my dress, and it doesn't really matter. There are definite advantages to living with someone you don't care that much about.
We are pretty lucky.
Oh my gosh. That was just incredible. It's beyond human experience.
Oh, you stop. Come on, it's just a couple boiled lobsters.
Not that. Candy.
Is the pressure good? Are you staying here at the hotel?
I taught her that.
Melissa and Joey is recorded in front of a live studio audience.
It's my money, and I'm gonna use it how I want.
Look, man, I'm not judging. I'm just saying that what you want to do with it is incredibly stupid.
Which is your opinion?
As a businessman.
Who makes my lunch?
Don't you go there, boy. You really want to mess with the guy who decides what goes in your sandwich?
All right, you two, what's going on here? There is no arguing in this house.
But Joe...
All right, shut it.
Come on, seriously, Joe doesn't approve of the way I'm investing my $1,000 that I inherited from Great Aunt Florence.
No, that's not what I said. Okay, what I said was it would simply save time to soak the check in gasoline and then set it on fire.
I found this amazing new company, and their stock goes on sale tomorrow.
Initial public offerings are always risky, dude.
It's my $1,000.
Yep, not for long.
So what's the company?
Jump Tech. They invented these sneakers that make you jump higher.
Magic flying shoes. Quick, Mel, mortgage the house so we can get in on this surefire thing.
It's not magic. Check this out. See? Fat guys and short kids wearing the shoes, and they're jumping over fences and slam dunking.
Wow.
Finally, science has given us something we can use.
Well, you know, it does use patented hypercoil technology, which is either really good or totally made up.
It's my money, and I'm not gonna miss out on this. I just have to figure out a way to open up a brokerage account by tomorrow.
Fine. I will help you lose your money, all right? I'll buy the stock through my account. Yes, I still have an account, all right? Currently, it's more of a pity account, but I still have one.
Oh, this is great, Joe. Now you'll get to feel what it's like to touch money again.
Trust me, it's nice.
Thanks, Joe.
Hey, Lennox.
Hey, guess what I learned in school today? Boys suck.
As a man who was once a boy, I am so happy that you figured that out.
Well, what happened, sweetie?
Haskell and I were supposed to meet up at the yogurt shop at 6 to celebrate our 2-week anniversary. I get there a little early, and he's in the parking lot making out with that skank, Marissa, near the dumpster. That was our spot. I mean, can you believe that?
Well, yeah, Marissa's smoking hot. Like a pile of duty in August.
Good save. Ugh, honey, that's terrible. You know, when I was your age and something like that would happen to me, I would grab my fake ID, sneak into a bar, and drown my sorrows in a big frosty mug of milk. Look, it's Haskell's loss.
I never want to hear that name again. It is now the H word.
Okay, on a totally different subject, have you decided what you're going to do with your $1,000 from Aunt Florence?
Yes. I'm going to get an anatomically correct Haskell voodoo doll.
Hell of a lot better investment than riders.
It's all good, all good. It's okay, okay. It's all right, all right. As far as I can see, it's all good, all good. It's okay, okay. It's all right, all right. I guess you're stuck with me.
Mel?
Oh, Sam, hi. I mean, H-Word's dad.
Listen, I feel terrible about how my son ended things with Lennox. Yeah, how's she doing?
You know, she's going through a wide range of emotions. One minute she's devastated, the next minute she's perfectly miserable. Actually, it's sort of a narrow range of emotion.
Wow, that must be really hard.
I can barely stand to be in the same room with her. Oh, you meant for Lennox.
Wow, you got a little evil streak there, don't you?
What do you mean? It's not little.
Good to know.
Seriously, though, I thought Lennox and Haskell made a really cute couple. You know, right up until the moment when he started making out with someone else.
Well, in that area, he takes after his mother, which is why we're no longer together.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear you're available.
Hey, you know, with the whole Lennox-Haskell thing, I probably shouldn't even be talking to you.
Oh, yeah, you know, we are in enemy camps now.
So I guess there's no chance of me asking you out.
Absolutely not. In fact, I dare you. Go ahead. Hey, Joe, you notice anything weird about this glass?
Yeah, you're holding it, and, doesn't smell like gin.
All the glasses coming out of the dishwasher lately have been cloudy.
You walked all the way in here to tell me about a cloudy glass?
All the glasses, they all have spots in them. What are you gonna do about this?
Hide when I hear your footsteps? Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want me to pretend like that's a serious problem? Mel, I'm gonna get right on this.
Joe, you were right about Jump Tech. It didn't double its first day.
I'm sorry, buddy. This is one of those times I wish I wasn't right.
It tripled. Check it out.
You're kidding.
I'm rich. My stock is worth $3 grand. Thanks, Joe. I couldn't have done it without you.
Oh, it was all you, man. I did nothing.
Nice going, Joe.
I didn't buy the stock.
What?
I didn't buy it.
Well, can you call them and tell them you meant to buy it?
Sure. Yeah, because the stock market is all about the honor system.
But you told Ryder that you bought it.
Yeah, well, it was a sure loser.
So you lied to him?
No, I didn't lie to him. I was protecting him.
From what? Wealth?
Hey, look, this is a stupid company with an inane concept. There's no logical reason for it to have gone up.
Wow, I feel really terrible for Ryder, but so glad I'm not you.
Go ahead, laugh all you want, all right? When sanity returns to the Earth tomorrow and the stock crashes, he's gonna thank me for saving his $1,000.
Hey, Lennox. Oh, funniest thing happened today. I ran into Haskell's dad getting coffee.
Oh, that's nice. Did you tell him I hope his son falls lips first into a wood chipper?
Well, not in those exact words. Yeah, there was something else I wanted to mention. Well, Haskell's dad and I were thinking about, just want to throw this out there, you know, going to get a meal sometime, like at dinner time.
Dinner? That's a date. You can't do that.
Well, if you want to think about it, let me know how you feel.
I can't believe you do this to me. That's like treason. Pick a family at Mel, Haskell's or ours.
Wow, I really feel terrible for Lennox.
So glad I'm not you.
Wait, talk about an overreaction.
She's absolutely right. What you did was total and utter betrayal.
I mean, it's not like I'm dating a friend's ex, which I would never do. Again. I was in high school. College. Oh, drop it. It's not like Haskell is a serious boyfriend like Aiden was, you know? Haskell's just a 2-week rebound guy.
Well, they're teenagers, all right? 2 weeks in their world is like 20,000, text messages.
But this is Haskell's dad, and the sins of the son shall not be visited upon the fathers. You know, especially the super cute ones.
Mel, you know this parenting thing we're trying to do here? It involves a little bit of sacrifice.
Does it involve anything else?
I'm just saying, for the health of the household, you might just want to keep it in your pants.
Sam didn't do anything. I mean, why should he have to suffer and not have a chance to get with Ness? All right, I'll do the right thing.
Hey, Mal, you didn't have to wait for me out here.
Yeah, I did. I just didn't want to get started on the whole dinner because,
What's up?
well, I'm sorry, but Lennox is not a big fan of us going out together.
Oh, I see. So you're saying we're gonna have to sneak around.
No, I would never. That would be wrong.
Well, then, I guess this is goodbye. Yeah.
Okay, we can sneak around.
Okay, sign this, read this, and pretend to read this. Oh, and remember today you have that lunch with the oldest woman in Toledo.
Oh, you're gonna have to postpone it.
She's 106.
Well, it'll give her something to live for. I'm sorry, I have an urgent personal conflict.
Personal? What's his name?
Stephanie, when I say something's personal, it means I don't want to discuss Sam. His name's Sam.
Haskell's dad? We're not supposed to talk to him. I'm Facebook friends with Lennox.
That's why I'm seeing him secretly.
Spill it, naughty girl.
Just call me. Yeah, I am a naughty girl. Okay, so last night we went to this skeevy dive bar. You know, the kind of place I would never go to that much anymore. It was so exciting, you know? It was like I was 18 again and dating my dad's tennis pro.
Don't worry, I'll cancel your lunch. I'll clear your whole afternoon. Exactly how much time do you need?
Just lunch. Yeah, I can get a lot done in an hour. Hey, Ryder, how's your investment doing today?
Bad day. It only doubled. I am so rich.
Funny thing is no matter how rich you get, you're still a geek.
Oh, the ladies loves the rich geeks.
Hey, maybe you can use some of that money and buy yourself a clue.
Ryder, you know what this means, right? I mean, you're only rich on paper. This stock could still drop like a stone.
I never thought of that.
Yeah.
We gotta cash in. Call your guy and tell him to sell now.
Yeah, Joe, why don't you do that?
What? No. What? No. We can't pull out all of a sudden.
Why not?
Why? Dude, because we need to think about this, man.
But you hate this stuff.
Yes, I do, buddy, with all my soul. But, emotions never factor into a financial decision. No, what we need to do is stay the course and, just play this whole thing out.
You're right. I mean, it could double again tomorrow.
Wouldn't that be great?
I am so glad I'm in business with you, Joe.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Thank you for not ratting me out.
Well, nobody's perfect. I don't judge anyone.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, it's pretty much all you do. Hey, Mel, it's the middle of the day. What are you doing home?
What are you doing
home. Every Thursday, you jog the towpath trail at exactly this time.
Okay. Number one, I don't jog, I run, okay? And number two...
Okay, I don't want to hear about your number twos. You know, the kids are in school. Why don't you just take the day off? Here's $10.
What are you talking about? I'm fixing the dishwasher, remember? Cloudy glasses, end of the world.
A few spots isn't gonna kill anybody. Just go for your run. Here's another 10.
You're acting all weird. What are you doing? I'm not going anywhere until you tell me what's going on here.
Okay, Sam Davis is coming over.
Here? Why? No.
Oh, grow up.
Wait a minute. You promised Lennox you would not get involved with...
I tried, but then he kissed me. You know, now I have no choice but to have sneaky secret sex with him. And today we're doing it here. We're gonna pretend my room is my parents' room.
Oh, my God. You are such a hypocrite.
I am not.
Yes, you are. You told Lennox you wouldn't get involved with Haskell's dad. You lied to her.
Don't act all high and mighty. You lied to Ryder.
Hey, I lied to Ryder to protect him, all right? You lied to Lennox to cover your own butt.
Oh, bravo! You're a much more ethical liar than I am. I'm sure when we meet in hell, you know, my flames will be on high and yours will only be on simmer. Can you just skedaddle so I can get some in the privacy of my own home?
Fine. You know what? I'm going, but I'm not lying for you.
Oh, hey, Joe.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything.
Come on, he was just leaving.
Give me a 5-minute head start before you guys do anything.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Lennox. Lennox, hey, what the heck are you doing here? Why aren't you at school?
I left my history paper in the printer and it's due 5th period.
Wait. Where are you going to be going?
To get my paper.
No. No, you can't go upstairs right now. I'm cleaning up there. Trust me. There's a lot of stuff probably hanging out. You don't want to see what's going on up there.
I'll avert my eyes.
Well, wait a minute, Lennox, please, I wouldn't go up the back stairs to the 2nd floor, Lennox, where you're probably more than halfway by now. You guys owe me big time.
For what? We didn't even get to the good stuff.
It's nice to see you again.
Get out of here, will you?
Jeez, what was that?
Oh, that was just the door. I'm just going around the house, checking all these doors, making sure they're not squeaking. This one's good. Where are you going?
Back to school?
Yeah, but you came in the back door.
And I want to go out the front door.
Nope, you cannot do that. Nope, it's bad luck. It's bad luck. You have to go out the same door you came in, okay? That's just common freaking sense, Lennox.
Okay, I'm going.
All right. In a crisis, you want Longo.
So, how's Ryder's investment doing today?
Oh, it's a piece of crap.
Wow, the price of crap is skyrocketing.
I know. This company continues to defy all logic. It just keeps going up and up and up. It's like
A jump tech sneaker?
Give me a little text message from your sneaky secret boyfriend.
No. A text message has words.
Sending you pictures? That's classy.
How do you even get one of us doing that? I mean, it's not like he has any hands free.
And my breakfast is done.
Oh, relax, Longo. We were just dancing. Naked.
Oh, come on. It's just...
I'm joking. Like, what politician would be dumb enough to have naked pictures on their cell phone?
Let me ask you something, Burke. Why is it that I lie to Ryder and I feel awful, yet you lie to Lennox and you're having the time of your life? Oh, wait a minute. I forgot it's because I have a conscience.
I don't feel bad because what Lennox doesn't know doesn't hurt her. You made Ryder believe he was rich.
You know what? You're right. But I can fix that because I still have his original $1,000.
Oh, you're not gonna buy that ridiculous stock, are you?
You crazy? No, I would never do anything that risky. I'm gonna invest it in a high-stakes poker game.
Hey, Aunt Mel, is there anything you need to tell me?
Stay in school. Don't drink and drive. And always put the toilet seat down. Oh, wait, that's for Ryder.
That's funny, because I just heard today that Haskell's father was sneaking around with, who was that again? Oh, that's right, you.
That is a vicious rumor.
Is it true? Well, I don't see why that's important. I was having lunch with Haskell today, and he said he just found out. Aunt Mel, how could you?
Lennox, I'm so sorry. I didn't... Wait. You're speaking to Haskell again?
Yeah, we sorted stuff out a couple days ago. Turns out he doesn't like Marissa. She just jumped up in the parking lot, and I mean, what was he supposed to do? Wait a minute. Don't change the subject. You lied to me.
No. I think I'm in the clear here.
What?
Yeah, my lie was only a lie because you weren't speaking to Haskell. Now that you're speaking to him again, you've removed my lie. See, my lie is now the truth.
Are you even listening to yourself?
Yes, I am, and I like what I hear.
A lie is a lie.
A lie is based on its context.
Oh, clearly you're the expert on lying.
Okay, maybe you weren't listening, but you've removed my lie.
And I'm putting it back, liar. Oh!
Oh!
You can just smell the crazy in here.
Good to see you're back in the game, Longo.
Good to be back, Jackson.
I raised 500.
Call.
Call.
Call. So where's your steak come from these days?
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. From the kid that I babysit.
Ooh, all right, gentlemen. Let's see who at this table has actually got a pair. I raise 1,000.
I'm out. I think I can cover your 1,000. I'm all in.
What's it gonna be, Joe? That's 6,000 calling your name?
I'm thinking.
So you going all in or what?
Yeah. Yeah, I am definitely gonna go up. I'm sorry. Would you guys mind if I just take that for a minute? I'm sorry.
Hello? Joe, we're ruined. You know those jump tech videos of those kids slam dunking? They are all fakes.
Wait a minute. Calm down. Who said that they were faked?
The president of the company, as the FBI held them away in handcuffs.
I'm out, guys. This game's too hot for me.
Well, look at us. Right out here in the open, right? Where everyone can see us.
Yeah. You know, I even told Lennox where I was going. Don't have to hide behind anyone's back anymore.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, now we can spend our energy getting to know each other.
Really talking, you know, instead of just plotting out where our next sexy hookup might be.
Yeah, that was getting old.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Conversation. You know, we can talk about anything.
Anything in the world.
Yeah. So where'd you park?
You know, I got a meter that already had 15 minutes on it.
Nice. Yeah. This is great.
After hours trading, Jump Tech has dropped from $12 a share to 8 cents. It's all gone, Joe. My money is all gone. What I did was dumb. It was like gambling, and gambling's stupid, right, Joe?
Yes, definitely. Unless you have a system for it.
Ryder, I heard about your stock on the way home.
I was rich and then lost everything.
Hey, well, you know, you can take a lesson from Joe. I mean, he bounced back, partly. I mean, he's still bouncing.
And you know what, buddy? It actually turns out there's this highly arcane SEC rule that can actually unwind a trade and return all the funds to the investor if it can be proven that the investor was a nice young man who was making his first investment.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Is it true? Would Joe lie to you?
Would I lie to you, dude? Come on. Yeah, all we have to do now is, just fill out all the paperwork and you'll have your $1,000 back in about a week.
From now on, I'm always doing what you say.
Thank you. You cleaned all the rain gutters this weekend.
Damn, they went bad fast.
Okay, can we make a pact right now not to ever lie to the kids again?
Okay. But technically, mine wasn't a lie.
Oh, my God. You never stop.
Why do you say that like it's news?
What are you doing here anyway? Didn't you have a big date tonight?
Yeah, it's funny, you know. Once we compared parking spaces, the night kind of peaked. I don't know, without sneaking around behind people's back, the thing with Sam kind of lost its thrill. Pretty messed up, huh?
You say that like it's news.
What is it about people always wanting to do things they're not supposed to do?
You know, Mel, it's human nature. I mean, people can't help themselves, you know? I mean, you start feeling something that, you think maybe you shouldn't, and then pull is too strong.
Well, maybe the pull is too strong because it's against the rules.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. If the only thing that makes a relationship exciting is that it's forbidden,
It's probably not worth it.
No, it's probably totally hot.
Congratulations on turning 106, Mrs. McKinnon. As your city councilwoman, I, Mel Burke, value contact with my constituents, especially someone with as much life experience as you have. Excuse me, do you have a cough drop or maybe a hard candy in your purse? Thanks for covering.
And as your councilwoman, Mel Burke, I think there's so much you could teach us all about the real values in life, you know, like integrity and honesty.
Thank you, dear. Thanks to both of you.
What do you mean?
Oh, drop it. I didn't get to be 106 without paying attention.
With you. But man, you smell great. Griffin looked confused and disappointed. Look, I am really excited to buy this date, Melissa babbled, grabbing a foil-covered container from the entryway table that Rhonda had prepared earlier. I just cannot go on it, so let me do this. There. She shoved the container into Griffin's hands. That should hold you for a few weeks, maybe more. We just do not know. Griffin stared at the heavy container. Wow, that is a whole bucket of gravy. Good night, Griffin, Melissa said sadly, gently closing the door on both men. The next morning, the house was in its usual state of utter chaos. Melissa was running late, her hair half-styled, trying to find her keys. Rhonda arrived, looking equally frazzled. Unda. I know I am late, Melissa called out from the kitchen. Really? That late? Rhonda replied. Yes, I filled out the paperwork for the nanny agency. It is right here. No kidding. I am late. You should have said that before. Oh dear heavens. Relax. It is a happy visit today. The doorbell rang. Melissa jogged over and pulled it open, expecting the nanny agency representative. Instead, it was the man from last night again. May I? He asked, stepping inside without waiting for an answer. No, Melissa said, but he was already in her living room. So I found the city budget online last night, he began, holding up a thick folder, and I went through it. Here is a thought. The cash in the general fund that is just sitting there? Hire me and I will double your rate of return. That way, you will have enough money for smaller class sizes and extra garbage pickups. And pie for everyone. Melissa stared at him, incredulous. That sounds like a great plan, and I would sign up immediately if you were not a complete lunatic. Joseph Longo is not a lunatic, he stated proudly. Joe Longo? Melissa asked, recognition dawning. You are Joe Longo? You ran Lewis Commodities Division. You made him millions.
Legitimat million, yeah, Joe corrected.
Which your terrible brother-in-law threw away. Melissa crossed her arms. Sorry. Happy visit. Yeah, you went all Bolivia there for a minute, Joe noted. Yeah, so what do you think? Joe pressed. Maybe you could get me a job downtown? Melissa shook her head. There is a hiring freeze. I am really sorry you lost your job. Yeah, well, that is old news, Joe said, his confident facade cracking slightly. Yesterday, I lost my condo, and now they are about to repossess my car. Oh, but here is the morning's big headline. The adorable Mrs. Longo has decamped to her mother's house. He looked genuinely devastated for a moment. Oh man, I am really going to miss that car. Melissa felt a flicker of sympathy, but her own life was a disaster zone. How can I put this nicely? I have got my own problems. So you are not going to help me? Joe asked. Do you live in my district? Now that I am living in my car, yeah, Joe replied deadpan. Melissa rubbed her temples. Look, I have got meetings, a trash revolt, a kid on the brink, and I am in desperate need of professional help. For the household, not me. Joe looked around the messy living room, his mind working quickly. You are not going to find anybody this way, This salary you are offering sucks. It is a living, Melissa defended. It includes meals, which she will be cooking because otherwise people will starve. Joe challenged. It has to be a woman? Only certain types need apply? Personal question. Did your hair get sick of you and leave? Melissa glared at his receding hairline. This is a choice. They stared at each other for a long moment. Joe needed money and a roof. Melissa desperately needed someone to wrangle the teenagers. All right, Joe said, raising his hands. Look. We both know that is a lowball offer, all right? So come on. What is your top number there? That is my top number, Melissa insisted. All right, you got a deal. I cannot start until Monday. Who offered you a job? Melissa asked, bewildered. All right, I can start today, Joe amended quickly. I am just going to have to, move a few things around. Mostly my car. Tuesday is street cleaning, is it not? You do know we are talking about a nanny here, right? Melissa asked skeptically. There are children involved. Have you ever worked with kids? Are you kidding? Joe lied smoothly. Right out of college, I ran a youth center downtown. I was in charge of 50 teenagers. Cooked them meals, helped them with their homework. I was entirely in charge. Melissa looked him up and down. He was arrogant, annoying, and completely desperate. Yeah, you are perfect. There is just one little detail. What is that? Joe asked. I do not really like you. Before Joe could respond, Ryder ran down the stairs, panic on his face. You know about the school bus? It is not running today. Jackson Street is blocked because of some kind of garbage protest. Crap, Melissa muttered, looking at her watch. Oh, golly, tough break. Okay, I will take you. I will just miss my meeting. It is not like we need the police department. No, Joe interrupted smoothly, grabbing his car keys. You will make your meeting. I will take him. He turned to the teenager. Hey, I am Joe. See that sports car out there? Yeah, it is mine. For 10 more days. Sweet. Ryder looked impressed. I do not know if that is your. He looked at Melissa, then shrugged. Oh, screw it. Buckle up. As they walked out the door, Rhonda turned to Melissa. Is not that the cute yelling guy from yesterday? Yeah, Melissa sighed. He is a homeless commodities trader. He is taking care of the kids. How crazy do I sound right now? Bottom line, he sounds great, Rhonda encouraged. The perfect nanny. You were right. I cannot do this alone. What? Commodities trader? Melissa corrected. No, he is just temporary. And he is not cute. No, he is not. He has no hair. Okay. Before we pull the nanny trigger, Rhonda asked, when do I interview this lady? Joe suddenly popped his head back through the front door. Hello. Hold on a second. Hey, let me ask you something. When is the last time anybody did any laundry in this household? You people live like pigs. These are my delicates. How did you get my delicates? Were you in my room? Melissa shut the door in his face. Yeah. Pull the trigger on the nanny agency. An hour later, Joe returned to the house, marching Ryder up the front steps. Melissa, who had rushed back home between meetings, watched them from the kitchen window. Hey, Mel, Joe called out, walking into the kitchen and pointing a stern finger at Ryder. All right, get back up there. What is he doing home in the middle of the day? Melissa demanded. His history paper, Joe replied simply. What? Melissa asked, her voice rising. Wow, Joe observed, pointing at her forehead. All right, pack the veins back in your forehead. I took the kid to school, right? And he tells me he does not have his history paper. So we drive back here to get it, and then he tells me he did not exactly write it. And I said, well, you better exactly write it because it is due today. So he is up there writing it now, and he does not come out until it is done. Huh? Now that is nannying. You brought him home? Melissa asked, horrified. You do not bring a kid home who has not done his work. You leave him at school to get yelled at, which is what he has got coming. What kind of rules are those? Joe asked, genuinely confused. The rules that everybody knows, Melissa snapped. I am somebody. I never heard of them. She turned toward the stairs, realizing the time. Lennox, are you ready? It is time to go. We have that meeting at the school. Silence answered her. She is not here, Joe observed. Where is she? Melissa demanded. You were supposed to watch her. You never said that, Joe defended himself. Because it is obvious, Melissa shouted. The girl got suspended. She is gone. She has ditched the meeting. Joe rubbed his chin thoughtfully. You know what? You are right. I just said you were right. That was a compliment. Melissa grabbed her purse, stepped forward, holding up a hand. No, 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 no. You go. You will make your meeting. I will take the kid. He turned to Ryder, extending a hand. Hey, I am Joe. Ryder looked at him suspiciously. See that silver Porsche out there in the driveway? Joe asked, pointing out the window. Ryder's eyes lit up. Yeah, it is beautiful. It is mine, Joe said proudly. For exactly 10 more days. Sweet ride, right? I do not know if that is your style. Oh, screw it. Come on, kid. Buckle up. Melissa watched them walk out the door, her mind spinning. Rhonda came down the stairs, staring out the window as the sports car roared to life. Isn't that the cute, yelling guy from the city council meeting yesterday? Rhonda asked. Yeah, Melissa said, her voice hollow. He is a bankrupt, homeless commodities trader. And what is he doing with Ryder? He is taking care of the kids, Melissa replied, realizing how insane the words sounded as they left her mouth. How incredibly high do I sound right now? Bottom line, Rhonda, the agency nanny sounds great, but I think I just hired this guy. You were right. I absolutely cannot do this alone. Wait, what? Rhonda gasped. A commodities trader? For a nanny? No, he is just temporary, Melissa reasoned, trying to convince herself as much as Rhonda. And for the record, he is not cute. No, he is not, Rhonda agreed quickly. He has absolutely no hair. Okay, Melissa said, taking a deep breath and gathering her files. Before we officially pull the nanny trigger and hire the agency woman, when do I interview this lady? At that moment, Joe burst back through the front door, Ryder trailing slowly behind him. Joe marched straight toward the hallway closet, threw it open, and began rummaging through the linens. Hello, Joe said loudly, completely ignoring Melissa and Rhonda's stunned expressions. Hold on a second. Hey, let me ask you two a serious question. When is the last time anybody did any actual laundry in this household? You people live like absolute pigs. I found these on the floor. These are my delicates. How did you get my delicates? Were you in my room? Melissa stared at him, mortified, as Joe held up a pair of expensive silk boxers. Yeah, Melissa whispered to Rhonda. Go ahead and pull the trigger on the agency nanny. Call them now. A few hours later, Melissa returned from her meetings, exhausted but hopeful for a quiet afternoon. Instead, she found Joe sitting at the kitchen island, meticulously building a massive, towering sandwich. Hey, Joe, Melissa said cautiously. You were right. I should have eaten that sandwich you offered earlier. I am starving. Joe pointed a knife toward the stairs. Hey, Mel. All right, get back up there, he shouted toward the second floor. What is going on? Melissa asked, bewildered. What is Ryder doing home in the middle of the school day? He is writing his history paper, Joe stated simply, taking a massive bite of his sandwich. What? Melissa demanded, the veins in her neck throbbing. Wow, okay. Why is he here and not in class? Joe held up a hand, chewing slowly. All right. Pack the angry veins back into your forehead and listen. I took the kid to school this morning, right? And as he is getting out of the car, he tells me he does not have his big history paper. So we drive all the way back here to get it. And then, standing right there in the hallway, he tells me he did not exactly write the paper yet. And I said to him, well, you better exactly write it right now because it is due today. So, he is up there in his room writing it right now. And he does not come out of that room until it is completely done. Huh? Now, you have to admit, that is some high-quality nannying right there. Melissa stared at him, her jaw practically hitting the floor. You brought him home? Joe, you do not bring a kid home who hasn't done his schoolwork. You leave him at the school to get yelled at by the teachers, which is exactly what he has got coming to him. What kind of crazy rules are those? Joe shrugged, taking another bite. The rules that everybody knows. I am somebody. I never heard of them. Melissa threw her hands up, abandoning the argument for a more pressing issue. She looked at her watch. It was 2:30. Lennox, are you ready? It is time to go to the principal's office. Silence echoed through the house. Lennox, Melissa called out again, her voice rising in panic. She turned to Joe, her eyes blazing. She is not here. Where is she? You were strictly supposed to watch her. Joe wiped his mouth with a napkin, looking entirely unbothered. You never specifically said that. Because it is incredibly obvious. Melissa shrieked. The girl just got suspended from school. Now she is gone. She has completely ditched the most important meeting of her life. Joe slowly lowered his sandwich, the reality of his failure finally dawning on him. He looked at Melissa's desperate, angry face. You know what? You are right. I just said you were right. That was a sincere compliment. Melissa grabbed her keys, her hands shaking. Okay, she has like 3 places she usually goes to hide out after school. I will start driving there and look for her. Joe stood up, grabbing his leather jacket. You want me to help you find her? Yes, please do, Melissa snapped. For once today, do something helpful. The city was vast, but Joe's instincts, honed from years of reading volatile markets and desperate people, led him not to the crowded malls or parks, but to the quiet, abandoned rooftop of a parking garage overlooking the school. It was the perfect place for an outlaw to watch the world without being seen. And there she was. Lennox sat on the concrete ledge, her legs dangling over the side, a pair of oversized sunglasses hiding her eyes. The autumn wind whipped her hair around her face. Joe parked his Porsche a few yards away, the engine purring softly before he killed it. He stepped out, leaning against the hood of the car, watching her for a long moment before speaking. Nothing, Joe said loudly, breaking the silence. I am telling you, I can work with this kid. Wow. Lennox did not turn around. Is this where you come for your adolescent brooding? You come up here to turn me in? Lennox asked, her voice tight with unshed tears. Joe shoved his hands into his pockets, walking slowly toward her. It is not really my style. Lennox finally looked at him over the rim of her sunglasses. What is your style, then? Joe smiled a sharp, jagged smile. Outlaw, cast out by the wealthy power brokers, forced to live a lonely life wandering the cold city streets. Lennox let out a small, surprising laugh. Oh, kind of like Batman, if he had been severely demoted to a suburban nanny. Nice, Joe nodded, appreciating the wit. Very nice, but tell me something. Aren't you supposed to be at a highly important meeting at your principal's office right now? Lennox turned her gaze back to the sprawling city below. Why should I? Crap goes on down there all the time. Miss Lent fires the beloved music teacher, completely gets rid of the marching band, and everybody is just too afraid to talk about it. I am completely tired of life being unfair. How about for once, things just be fair? Joe stepped up beside her, looking out at the same view. He knew a thing or two about unfairness. I would be incredibly upset, too, if my mom and dad bailed on me. Lennox flinched, the words hitting a deep, raw nerve. You are talking about Miss Lent, she said defensively. You do not know anything about me. You are right, Joe agreed softly. I do not. But what I really do not know about you is why you are taking all this anger out on your aunt. Lennox gripped the concrete edge. Because she is the only person in this whole chaotic world who hasn't bailed on you, Joe finished for her. He let the truth of the words hang in the cold air. Look, kid, I know she can get a little skitsy and crazy at times. Honestly, at all times. But since we are talking about what is fair in life, do you really think it is fair that she has to go down to your school all alone today and eat your big bowl of stink for something that she absolutely did not do? Lennox frowned, looking at him with genuine confusion. Big bowl of stink? What is that? Joe chuckled, turning to walk back to his car. You will know exactly what it is when you have eaten one. Come on, let us go. Down at the school, in the sterile, beige office of Principal Lent, Melissa sat alone in a tiny chair meant for a student. Miss Lent sat behind her massive mahogany desk, looking over her reading glasses with an expression of pure, unadulterated judgment. Any sign of our Lennox? Miss Lent asked, her voice dripping with condescension. Melissa shifted uncomfortably, clutching her purse. Oh, Miss Lent, look, I know what Lennox did was bad. Okay, it was really, really bad. But if any kid in this entire school has the right to be upset about what life has handed her lately, it is Lennox. Look, I am not trying to excuse her behavior. I am just saying, if I was Lennox, I probably would have done much worse things by now. In fact, when I was her age, I did. Miss Lent closed the file folder on her desk with a sharp, dismissive snap. This meeting is completely pointless without Lennox present. Why don't we just reschedule? Do you think you can manage to find her by, say, tomorrow afternoon? Melissa asked, desperation creeping into her voice. Oh, tomorrow is the city council session, and it runs all day long. But we take lunch from 12 to 1 o'clock. I do not know when you break for lunch. Miss Lent leaned forward, resting her elbows on the desk. Miss Burke, parenting does not fit into nice, neat little schedule boxes. You know, it might be incredibly helpful to look not just at what Lennox is doing wrong, but at the actual job you are doing raising her. Melissa felt a hot flush of anger and shame rise in her cheeks. She opened her mouth to defend herself, to explain the impossible situation she had been thrust into, but the heavy office door swung open before she could speak. Lennox stood in the doorway, looking small but strangely determined. She is doing okay. Melissa gasped, spinning around in her chair. Lennox! Lennox walked into the room, refusing to look at the principal. She kept her eyes fixed firmly on Melissa. Hey, I'm sorry I am late. And I am really sorry about the other day with the terrible poem. And I am sorry about the awful stuff that I said. She paused, taking a deep, shaky breath. I was mad. And apparently I was not really mad at you. But there is absolutely no need to blame my aunt for any of this. She has been getting enough of that blame from me lately. You know, at least she is trying her absolute best. Melissa felt tears prick the corners of her eyes. It was the most beautiful thing the girl had said in months. Lennox finally turned to face the principal, her teenage defiance returning in full force. Okay, whatever. Let us just get to the stink-eating part. Miss Lent blinked, utterly confused. The what eating part? Back at the house, the atmosphere had miraculously lightened. Ryder was actually smiling as he threw a basketball toward the hoop in the driveway. Joe stood nearby, offering unsolicited but highly effective coaching advice. All right, let us see what you have got, Joe called out. Ryder shot the ball and it clanged awkwardly off the rim. Here is a thought, my hip, young brother man. Try loosening up your knees a little bit when you jump. Just bend them. Ryder caught the rebound, bent his knees, and released a smooth, fluid shot. The ball swished perfectly through the net. Ryder's face lit up with absolute shock and joy. You are welcome, Joe said, crossing his arms with a smug grin. Ryder jogged over to him, bouncing the ball. Hey, I heard about all the terrible crap you have been going through lately. You know, with your wife leaving you, going completely broke, losing your fancy car, and your big condo. I mean, with all that weight, how can you even walk? Joe stared at the kid, the smugness evaporating instantly. Oh, sorry. Ryder backpedaled quickly, realizing he had crossed a line. I did not mean to. No, 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 Joe interrupted, holding up a hand. It is all right. I am fully aware that my life is currently an abyss of inky black despair. Thanks for the pep talk, kid. Go shoot some more hoops. As Ryder ran back to the driveway, Melissa pulled her car up to the curb. She stepped out, looking lighter, happier than she had all week. Lennox climbed out of the passenger side and walked past Joe without a word, heading straight for the front door. Hey, Lennox said casually over her shoulder. Could you show me how to do that trick with the basketball? Joe raised an eyebrow. Only if you taped it. I have absolutely no idea how I did it. Melissa walked up the driveway, a triumphant smile on her face. Oh, I am sorry. I am sorry. I am sorry. Your aunt. I meant your aunt. She playfully bumped Joe's shoulder. Hey, so I ate my whole big bowl of stink down there. I even went back for seconds. Lennox paused at the door, rolling her eyes but smiling softly. Ugh. I am going to go brush my teeth now. My hands are dirty. She disappeared inside. Melissa turned to Joe, her eyes shining with genuine gratitude. It was you, wasn't it? You somehow talked her into going down there and facing the music. How on earth did you talk her into going down there? Joe puffed out his chest, leaning against his rapidly depreciating sports car. What can I say? People simply like me. No, really? Melissa pressed, wanting to know the secret to reaching her guarded niece. Joe shrugged casually. I paid her $50. Melissa's smile vanished instantly, replaced by a look of profound horror. A bribe? You used a bribe? That is terrible. Not only is that morally wrong, that is horrible, destructive parenting. Well, I am not a parent, Joe pointed out logically. And currently, neither are you. Ryder, having overheard the conversation, trotted over with the basketball under his arm. Hey, can I have $50 too? No, Joe snapped. Then relax, all right? Joe turned back to Melissa, waving away her concerns. I wrote Lennox a personal check. Boing. It is going to bounce higher than that basketball. Another very valuable life lesson about trusting strangers with money. Melissa stared at him, absolutely speechless at the sheer audacity of the man. So, is this exactly how you ran your big youth center right out of college? Joe laughed out loud, a genuine booming sound. Oh, please, there was no youth center. I made that entirely up. Melissa rubbed her temples, feeling a headache coming on. Can I please speak to you in the other room? Joe turned to Ryder, clapping him on the shoulder. It was nice knowing you, kid. Tell my car I loved her. Oh, I will be fine, Joe muttered as he followed Melissa into the kitchen. Melissa rounded on him the moment the door swung shut. You lie about your experience. You bribe teenagers with bad checks. Is there absolutely anything in this world you will not do? Windows, Joe replied instantly. I do not do windows. Look, Burke, I am just trying to help you out here. You know? I mean, I may have played it a little fast and loose with the rules, but Lennox actually apologized to that awful Lent woman. Right? Yes, Melissa admitted, her anger deflating slightly. Yes, she did. She also, as it happens, said a few incredibly nice things about me. Right in front of me. It is the very first time since she has been living here that she has shown me any real respect. Frankly, it took my breath away. Joe smiled softly. See? Progress. Melissa's eyes narrowed suspiciously. Oh my God. You did not pay her to do that too, did you? No, Joe laughed, holding his hands up in surrender. She gave me that one completely free of charge. Although, it may just be my mere magical presence in this household that is sort of seamlessly pulling everything together for your family. Melissa rolled her eyes, but a small smile tugged at the corners of her mouth. Oh, my God. Let us definitely believe that fantasy. She walked over to the kitchen counter, picking up a piece of paper. Oh, I almost forgot. The Regency Nanny Agency called back an hour ago. They said that Mrs. Dietrich is fully available and that she will be here at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning to start the job. Joe's confident facade cracked for a second. His shoulders slumped, the reality of his impending homelessness crashing back down on him. You did not think I could actually handle this job, did you? Melissa looked at him, seeing past the bald head, the bravado, and the bouncing checks. She saw a man who had hit rock bottom but had still managed to connect with two broken kids in a way she hadn't been able to figure out for months. To be completely honest with you, Melissa said softly, no, I did not think you could handle it. Not until you, pulled all that bizarre confidence out of your ass today. She ripped the agency paperwork in half, dropping the pieces into the trash can. So, is this official now? Because, if not, I can just, hop in my house and drive away. Joe stared at the torn paper, a genuine smile breaking across his face. Yeah, let us give it a shot. How bad could you possibly be at this? You will find out, won't you? Melissa smiled back. Welcome to the family, Joe. The following night, the house was dark and quiet. The clock on the microwave glowed a neon green, reading 3 in the morning. The front door clicked open as quietly as possible, and Melissa tiptoed inside, carrying her high heels in one hand. She looked exhausted, disheveled, but undeniably happy. Suddenly, a bright light snapped on in the living room. Joe was sitting in the armchair, wearing a faded bathrobe, a cup of herbal tea in his hands. He looked at her with the stern, disappointed expression of a mother waiting up for a rebellious teenager. So, Joe began, his voice dripping with sarcasm. How did your big date go that lasted until 3 friggin' in the morning? Melissa jumped, startled, then let out a tired sigh, tossing her shoes onto the floor. Leave me alone, Mom. It is not a school night. And for the record, he was the captain of the football team back in high school. God. She walked into the kitchen, pouring herself a glass of water, a sudden realization washing over her. Wow, I just realized I have never actually had that specific conversation with my own mom. I would come stumbling in at 3 in the morning, and she would just send me right back out to the store for more gin. Joe chuckled, taking a sip of his tea. Well, welcome to a functional household. So, Melissa asked, leaning against the counter, how did the kids get to bed tonight? Ryder knocked out completely about 11 o'clock, Joe reported proudly. And Lennox was, 1:30. 1:30. Melissa gasped, her political stress returning instantly. All right. She just got in bed right now when she heard your car pulling into the driveway, Joe admitted, waving a hand. But do not panic. She is completely caught up on her biology and math homework. And she finished the entire 5th season of Lost. It was a very productive evening. Before Melissa could respond, a thunderous pounding echoed from the front door. The heavy wooden frame shook with the force of the blows. Army Delivery Council. Babe? A deep, booming voice shouted from outside. Does it? Joe mumbled, confused by the phrase. He looked at Melissa's terrified face. What is that look? What is that face for? Did you forget to pay a gambling debt to something terrible? The pounding continued, louder this time. Hey! The voice roared. Joe slowly stood up, creeping toward the peephole. He pressed his eye against the glass and gasped, stumbling backward. Holy nuts! That guy is absolutely huge. What? Melissa whispered, frozen in place. Mel! Joe hissed, panic rising in his chest as the door rattled in its hinges. Mel, this guy. I am not kidding you, Mel. This guy is huge. The heavy pounding echoed through the silent house once more, shattering the fragile peace they had just managed to build, signaling that in the Burke household, the chaos was only just beginning. The bright lights of the local television station illuminated the council chambers, capturing every bead of sweat on the foreheads of the local politicians. Melissa Burke, however, looked immaculate. She adjusted the collar of her tailored blazer, feeling the familiar, comforting weight of public service settling over her shoulders. Her assistant, standing just off camera, offered an encouraging smile and mouthed a familiar compliment regarding her ability to balance her role as a dedicated public servant during the sunlit hours and a stunning, vibrant woman when the evening fell. Melissa offered a quiet, knowing chuckle in return. She knew she had to project warmth and authority during the day. Otherwise, the gears of the local government would simply grind to an agonizing halt. The agenda for the afternoon was contentious. Melissa leaned into her microphone, her voice steady and clear, echoing across the crowded room. She announced the new council directive. From that moment forward, the city was officially capping elementary school class sizes at 22 students. It was a victory for the education sector, a cause she held close to her heart. However, progress always demanded a toll. A disgruntled local restaurant owner in the front row immediately voiced his absolute outrage. He declared the new policy to be complete garbage, a choice of words that was aggressively literal. He pointed out that actual refuse was currently piling up in front of his establishment because the city council, under Melissa's guidance, had reduced trash pickups to a mere once a week. Melissa maintained her composure, her political training kicking in. She smoothly explained that the unfortunate reduction in trash service was the necessary financial sacrifice required to pay for the smaller, more manageable class sizes. She internally praised herself for her restraint. It was not easy to remain a mature, rational adult when angry citizens practically hurled metaphorical trash bags at her podium. She had held her ground. Then, the heavy wooden doors at the back of the chamber swung open with a dramatic thud. A man stormed down the center aisle. He was dressed in a suit that spoke of former extreme wealth, though it was currently rumpled, matching the chaotic energy radiating from his eyes. This was Joseph Longo. Before Melissa could even brace herself, he pointed a sharp finger directly at her and demanded to know exactly where the money was. Specifically, the millions of dollars that her disgraced brother-in-law had stolen from him. The room plunged into a shocked, breathless silence. Melissa felt a flush of embarrassment creep up her neck, but she quickly raised her hands in a placating gesture. She reminded the furious man and the captivated audience that the thief in question was married to her sister. She was not the fugitive. With a brilliant flash of political deflection, Melissa addressed the entire room, asking if anyone else present happened to have a relative they were not exactly proud of. A murmur of uneasy agreement rippled through the crowd. It was a universal truth. She was not alone in her familial embarrassment. Still, Joseph muttered bitterly that at least his own troublesome relatives were somewhat endearing, a trait her brother-in-law entirely lacked. Later that afternoon, after the cameras had stopped rolling and the crowd had dispersed, Melissa's assistant praised her performance. He assured her she had held her own perfectly, comparing her natural charisma to her late father, the esteemed senator. Melissa let out a long breath, nervously asking if she smelled like the sheer panic of the moment. Her assistant assured her she smelled only of authority. Melissa smiled, her confidence returning. She playfully agreed, admitting that she had been absolutely fantastic up on that stage. The unexpected confrontation with the furious man who had lost everything to her brother-in-law's various felonies had, ironically, completely shifted the focus of the town meeting. The angry restaurant owner and the entire garbage dispute had been entirely forgotten by the press. She had accidentally put the whole trash issue to bed. The victory at work, however, evaporated the moment Melissa pulled into the driveway of her beautiful suburban home. Waiting for her on the pristine front porch was her niece, Lennox. The 15-year-old girl possessed a sharp intellect and a sharper tongue, both currently being used to mask a profound reservoir of sadness. Lennox pointed to a massive, foul-smelling black plastic bag sitting squarely in front of the front door. She casually informed her Aunt Mel that angry, Disenfranchised citizens had been throwing garbage at their house all afternoon. In fact, Lennox noted dryly, there were about 10 more identical bags littering the porch. Melissa sighed, rubbing her temples. She tried to explain the complex political debate currently gripping the community, but the sheer weight and horrible odor of the reality in front of them made her words trail off. It was getting too heavy, and incredibly smelly. Lennox stepped over the refuse, entirely unbothered, and informed Melissa she was leaving the remaining bags for her to handle. As the teenager turned to retreat into the house, Melissa tried to bridge the emotional distance between them. She eagerly asked Lennox if she had seen the adorable new dresser she had placed in her bedroom. Lennox paused, looking over her shoulder with a gaze completely devoid of enthusiasm. She acknowledged the furniture was nice, but coldly stated she did not need it. She preferred to keep her belongings in her suitcases. The rejection stung Melissa deeply. She watched her niece walk away, realizing with a heavy heart that Lennox still believed her stay in this house was entirely temporary. Melissa missed the days when Lennox used to share her thoughts. When Lennox was younger, she would playfully threaten to sneak out, or jokingly suggest they get matching tattoos, or stubbornly argue just because Melissa said so. Now, Melissa felt like a monster for simply trying to make the girl comfortable. She had to remind herself that being 15 was a difficult, confusing time, even under the best of circumstances. That evening, the chaotic energy of the house shifted as Melissa prepared for something she had not experienced in months: a romantic date. She stood in her closet, holding up 2 different dresses. She needed a second opinion. Rhonda, a confident and sharp-witted woman who often helped keep an eye on the kids, sat on the edge of the bed. Melissa held up a sophisticated, tailored dress, asking if it projected a smart, independent woman with a bright political future. Then she held up a slightly more daring, form-fitting option, wondering if it screamed that the former bad girl had returned. Rhonda raised an eyebrow, pointing to the second dress. She jokingly asked if Melissa was planning to go hiking in the first one. The second dress was the clear winner. Melissa was vibrating with nervous energy. It had been so long since the kids had moved in, she had entirely forgotten how to flirt. She thanked Rhonda profusely for agreeing to babysit. She instructed Rhonda to make sure Ryder, her quiet and somewhat brooding nephew, practiced his basketball jump shot, and to ensure both children completed their homework. And, most importantly, Melissa added with a nervous laugh, Rhonda needed to make sure Ryder did not torch the place. Rhonda looked alarmed, prompting Melissa to explain the boy's troubling history. During the terrible week his father fled the country, leaving a wake of financial destruction. The young boy had acted out in a spectacularly dangerous fashion. He had dragged 20 of his father's most expensive, tailored suits out onto the concrete driveway, doused them in top-shelf cognac, and set them completely ablaze. It was an astonishing single-alarm fire. Melissa tried to justify the pyrotechnics, suggesting that everyone needed to let their emotions out every now and then. Rhonda firmly disagreed. The urge to set things on fire, Rhonda stated flatly, was an urge that absolutely must be repressed. Just as Melissa was finally ready to leave, radiating hope and wearing her favorite perfume, the telephone rang. It was Miss Lent, the principal of Lennox and Ryder's school. Melissa's hopeful smile melted into a grimace of impending dread as she listened to the woman on the other end of the line. Lennox had done something terrible. Melissa tried to feign disbelief, insisting her niece was a good girl, but the principal's stern voice cut through her denial. Lennox had composed an original, highly offensive poem that rhymed the principal's name in a creative and deeply inappropriate manner. She had then printed this poem on flyers and distributed them throughout the entire school. The principal informed Melissa that a local news channel was already sniffing around the story. Melissa hung up the telephone, feeling the weight of the world crash down upon her carefully styled shoulders. She had been the legal guardian of these children for exactly 2 months, and one was already suspended from school. She sarcastically muttered a congratulations to herself for winning Guardian of the Year. Rhonda, sensing the escalating crisis, gently suggested that Melissa needed professional help. Not therapeutic help, but practical help. An organizer, a professional household manager, someone who could provide the children with rigid structure, firm discipline, and perhaps, Rhonda joked darkly, a small amount of electroshock therapy. Melissa could not do everything by herself. Melissa, fueled by a sudden burst of maternal adrenaline, declared that while she might not be able to do everything, she could certainly handle this. She marched upstairs, determined to set her niece straight. She barged into Lennox's room, ready to deliver a stern lecture. Lennox was lounging on her bed, the picture of teenage indifference. Melissa demanded to know why she had done such a foolish thing. Lennox, deflecting the blame, casually asked why her own mother was not there to discipline her. Melissa swallowed hard, the tragic reality of their situation hanging heavy in the air. She quietly reminded Lennox that her mother was currently locked away in a federal prison. Trying to soften the blow, Melissa pointed to a framed photograph hanging affectionately on the wall. It was a picture of the two of them at a rock concert from years ago. She tried to remind Lennox of the good times they used to share, the times when they told each other important things. Lennox scoffed, asking if Melissa honestly thought getting suspended was the kind of event she wanted to share over tea. Lennox then passionately defended her actions, declaring that Miss Lent was a fascist who fired beloved teachers and ruled the school with an iron fist. Melissa, exasperated, asked why Lennox could not have simply called the principal a fascist instead of writing a profane poem. Lennox crossed her arms, stating she never got into trouble at her old, private school. Melissa quickly reminded her that at the old school, Lennox's parents had essentially purchased her good behavior by buying the school a massive indoor swimming pool. Lennox rolled her eyes, complaining that the pool did not even have an attached spa, completely missing the point. Melissa laid down the law. She informed Lennox that they had a mandatory meeting in the principal's office at 3 o'clock the next afternoon. Until Lennox offered a sincere apology, she was strictly forbidden from returning to classes. Lennox stubbornly declared that she simply would not go back to school at all. Melissa stood her ground, insisting that education was the most important thing in the world. The doorbell chimed, sending a cruel spike of anticipation through Melissa. It was her date. She told Lennox to stay put, promising she had much more to say on the matter. Melissa rushed downstairs, throwing open the front door, expecting to see her handsome, sweet-smelling suitor. Instead, standing on her porch was Joseph Longo, the angry, ruined man from the city council meeting. Joseph looked slightly less manic but far more desperate than he had earlier that afternoon. He nervously admitted that he had behaved like a complete jackass at the town hall. He apologized for crashing her meeting and yelling about her fugitive brother-in-law. Melissa, emotionally exhausted, snapped at him. She confirmed that the criminal in question had fled to the country of Bolivia. Joseph winced visibly at the name of the country. Melissa told him she had no idea where the man was, and demanded Joseph leave her alone. Just then, Griffin, her actual date, walked up the pathway. He looked incredibly handsome and smelled absolutely divine. He glanced between Melissa and Joseph, confused by the tense atmosphere. Melissa looked at Griffin, her heart breaking just a little bit. She explained that she had a niece in a severe emotional crisis. She confessed how deeply she wanted to go on this date, how long she had waited for a night of normalcy, but her family needed her. She reached out, handing Griffin a large, foil-wrapped container. She explained it was a whole bucket of rich gravy she had prepared earlier, hoping it would hold him over for a few weeks until she could finally manage a free evening. Griffin accepted the bucket, bewildered but polite, and walked away into the night. The next morning, the household was in absolute chaos. Melissa was running late, frantically sorting through paperwork from a local nanny agency. The stress was palpable. The doorbell rang again. Melissa pulled it open to find Joseph Longo standing there once more. He did not look angry this time. He looked thoroughly defeated. He asked if he could come inside. Melissa reluctantly allowed him entry. Joseph revealed that he had spent the entire night analyzing the city budget online. He enthusiastically proposed that Melissa hire him as a financial consultant. He promised he could double the rate of return on the city's general fund, magically generating enough money for both the smaller class sizes and the extra garbage pickups. Melissa looked at him, completely astounded by his audacity. She admitted his plan sounded brilliant, and she would sign up immediately if he were not a complete lunatic. Joseph's face fell. He explained with a quiet, devastating honesty who he truly was. He was the man who had run the commodities division for her brother-in-law. He had made millions of dollars, completely legitimate millions, all of which her bastard of a brother-in-law had entirely squandered and stolen. Melissa's defensive posture softened. She offered a quiet apology. Joseph waved it off, detailing the catastrophic collapse of his life. He had lost his prestigious job. Just yesterday, the bank had foreclosed on his luxury condominium. The repo men were currently looking for his beloved sports car. And, to top off the nightmare, his beautiful wife had packed her bags and moved back into her mother's house. He was essentially homeless, living out of his car, and desperate for any kind of employment. Melissa felt a pang of sympathy, but she was overwhelmed by her own immediate disasters. She explained she had political meetings, a literal trash revolt brewing on her lawn, a teenager on the brink of academic ruin, and a desperate need for a professional household manager. Joseph's eyes lit up. He pointed out the poor salary and the demanding duties listed on the nanny agency paperwork resting on the table. He boldly suggested that he was the perfect candidate for the job. Melissa laughed in his face. She asked if only women were allowed to apply, mockingly inquiring if his hair had gotten sick of him and left, referencing his bald head. Joseph ignored the insult, focusing entirely on survival. He pushed for the job, promising he could cook, clean, and manage the chaotic teenagers. He claimed he had run a massive youth center right out of college, expertly managing 50 difficult teenagers at once. Melissa was exhausted, desperate, and out of options. She looked at the broken millionaire standing in her foyer. She admitted he was perfect for the role, except for the minor detail that she did not actually like him. Suddenly, Ryder jogged into the room, panic written across his young face. The school bus was not running because the angry citizens had blocked Jackson Street with their garbage protest. Melissa cursed under her breath. She had a crucial meeting she could not miss. Joseph saw his opening. He immediately volunteered to drive the boy to school. Melissa hesitated, but the ticking clock forced her hand. She agreed. Joseph grabbed the keys to his soon-to-be-repossessed luxury car, told Ryder to buckle up, and whisked the boy out the door. Melissa watched them leave, wondering if she had just made a terrible mistake. She called Rhonda, explaining that she had practically hired the screaming homeless commodities trader to watch the children. Rhonda's stunned silence through the telephone confirmed Melissa's fear that she was losing her mind. Hours later, Melissa returned home, hoping to find a semblance of order. Instead, she found Ryder sitting at the kitchen table in the middle of the school day. She furiously confronted Joseph, demanding to know why the boy was not in class. Joseph calmly explained his unorthodox methods. He had driven Ryder to the school gates, only to discover the boy had not completed a crucial history paper. Instead of letting Ryder go to class unprepared to face the wrath of his teachers, Joseph had driven him straight back home. He had ordered Ryder to sit at the table and write the paper, informing the boy he was not allowed to leave the chair until the assignment was flawlessly completed. Melissa was appalled. She argued that the standard rule of parenting was to send the child to school so they could face the natural consequences of their laziness. Joseph countered that those rules clearly were not working, and he preferred his own method of immediate, enforced responsibility. Before they could argue further, Melissa realized Lennox was missing. It was almost time for their dreaded meeting in the principal's office. She panicked, assuming the rebellious teenager had ditched the meeting entirely. Melissa grabbed her coat, telling Joseph she had to scour the neighborhood to find her niece. While Melissa frantically searched the local cafes, Joseph remained at the house. He walked out onto the second-story balcony and found Lennox sitting alone, her knees pulled to her chest, brooding over the neighborhood. Joseph approached her quietly. Lennox assumed he was there to drag her to the school and turn her in. Joseph chuckled, stating that was not his style. He described himself as an outlaw, a man cast out by the power brokers, forced to live a rough life in the city. Lennox smiled slightly, noting he sounded like a superhero who had been tragically demoted to a domestic servant. Joseph sat down beside her. He dropped the tough guy act and spoke to her with genuine empathy. He acknowledged how brutally unfair her life had become. It was completely natural to be incredibly angry that her parents had abandoned her. However, he gently pointed out, she was directing all of that explosive anger at the wrong person. He reminded Lennox that her Aunt Melissa was the single person in the entire world who had not bailed on her. Melissa had taken them in, altered her entire life, and loved them fiercely. Joseph asked Lennox to consider if it was truly fair that her aunt was currently sitting alone in the principal's office, preparing to eat a massive metaphorical bowl of garbage to protect Lennox from a mistake Melissa did not even commit. The words struck a deep chord within the young girl. She had been so consumed by her own pain, she had entirely failed to see her aunt's daily sacrifices. Down at the school, Melissa sat awkwardly in Miss Lent's sterile office. The principal looked at her with a mixture of pity and stern disapproval. Melissa tried to defend her niece, explaining the terrible hand life had dealt the children. She confessed that if she were in Lennox's shoes, she probably would have done much worse things by now. In fact, Melissa admitted quietly, she actually had done worse things during her own youth. Miss Lent was unmoved. She stated that having a meeting without the offending student was completely pointless. She suggested they reschedule. Furthermore, the principal coldly added, perhaps Melissa needed to deeply evaluate her own parenting skills. Just as Melissa felt the sting of tears threatening her eyes, the office door opened. Lennox walked in. She looked directly at the principal and offered a clear, articulate, and completely sincere apology. She apologized for the offensive poem and for her disrespectful behavior. Then, Lennox turned to Melissa. In front of the stern principal, Lennox stated that her aunt was doing the best she could, that she was trying incredibly hard, and that there was absolutely no reason to blame Melissa for Lennox's poor choices. Melissa was speechless. It was the first time since the children had moved in that Lennox had said anything remotely kind about her. Took her breath away. Later that evening, back at the house, the atmosphere was significantly lighter. Joseph was in the kitchen, casually demonstrating proper vegetable chopping techniques to Ryder. Melissa walked in, a victorious smile on her face. She announced that she had eaten the entire bowl of stink at the school, and had even gone back for seconds. The issue was resolved. Lennox was allowed back in school. She turned to Joseph, her eyes narrowing with suspicion. She knew Lennox well enough to know the teenager had not experienced a sudden moral awakening entirely on her own. Melissa accused Joseph of talking the girl into going to the school. Joseph grinned, leaning against the counter. He admitted he had played a small part. He confessed, with complete shamelessness, that he had bribed the teenager. He had written Lennox a personal check for $50 to go down to the school and deliver the apology. Melissa gasped in horror. She told him that bribing a child was not only morally wrong, but it was absolutely horrendous parenting. Joseph shrugged off the criticism. He pointed out that he was not a parent, and neither was she. They were just two people trying to survive the chaos. Ryder, listening to the exchange, immediately asked if he could also have $50. Joseph flatly refused. Joseph then casually mentioned a crucial detail to Melissa. He told her to relax about the moral implications of the bribe, because his personal checking account was completely overdrawn. The check he gave Lennox was absolutely going to bounce. Melissa stared at him, caught between outrage and overwhelming amusement. He lied, he bribed, he manipulated the situation perfectly. She jokingly asked if there was anything he would not do. Joseph smiled and replied that he did not do windows. He looked at Melissa, his expression softening. He explained that he was simply trying to help her out. He knew his methods were fast and loose, but the end result was undeniable. Lennox had apologized to the principal, the suspension was lifted, and, most importantly, Lennox had realized how much her aunt truly loved her. Melissa had to admit he was entirely right. The chaotic, homeless, formerly wealthy trader had somehow managed to seamlessly pull her fracturing family back together in a single afternoon. She walked over to the kitchen island, pulling a piece of paper from her purse. She informed Joseph that a very proper, highly qualified nanny named Mrs. Dietrich was available to start work at 8 o'clock the next morning. Joseph's face fell slightly. He realized his brief tenure as a household manager was already over. He nodded, trying to maintain his dignity, and asked if it was officially time for him to hop into his car and drive away forever. Melissa looked at the man who had just saved her niece's academic career and reminded her nephew of the importance of hard work. She ripped the agency paperwork perfectly in half. She smiled warmly at Joseph and told him they were going to give his employment a real shot. She reasoned that he could not possibly be any worse than the chaos they were already living in. Joseph grinned, a spark of genuine hope returning to his eyes. He promised her she was about to find out exactly how interesting things could get. Hours later, the house was finally quiet. Melissa sat in the living room, exhausted but content. Lennox walked downstairs to get a glass of water. They shared a quiet, surprisingly normal conversation. Lennox teased her aunt about being out so late, joking that it was not a school night and wondering if Melissa had been out with the captain of the football team. Melissa laughed softly, realizing with a start that she had never shared this kind of playful banter with her own mother. When Melissa was a teenager, coming home at 3 o'clock in the morning, her mother would simply send her right back out to fetch more gin. Lennox informed Melissa that Ryder had fallen asleep around 11 o'clock, and she had stayed up until 1:30 finishing her biology and mathematics homework, as well as catching up on 5 seasons of a television show about people lost on an island. As Lennox headed back upstairs, there was a loud, aggressive pounding on the front door. Melissa frowned, pulling her robe tighter around herself. She opened the door to find a massive, incredibly intimidating delivery man standing on the porch. He was holding a clipboard and looking incredibly impatient. Before Melissa could even ask what the man wanted, Joseph came rushing down the hallway, panic in his eyes. He saw the massive man at the door and frantically yelled for Melissa to close it. The repo man had finally tracked down the luxury car. Melissa watched, completely bewildered and highly amused, as the enormous man and her new, chaotic nanny began a loud, ridiculous negotiation on her front porch under the moonlight. Life in the Burke household had certainly become far more complicated, but for the first time in months, Melissa felt like they were finally going to be okay. It often felt to Melissa as though her entire life were a sitcom, playing out on a brightly lit stage and being recorded in front of a live studio audience. Every triumph was public, and every disaster was somehow even more public. Yet, she held her head high as she walked through the polished, echoing corridors of the city hall. She smoothed the front of her tailored skirt suit, feeling the familiar weight of responsibility settle onto her shoulders. A fellow council member, catching sight of her confident stride, offered a supportive smile. "Look at you," the colleague said, admiration evident in their voice. "Public servant by day, hottie by night." Melissa allowed herself a brief, genuine laugh, the sound bouncing off the marble walls. "Well," she replied, her tone laced with characteristic wit, "I have to turn on the heat during the day or nobody gets anything done." The council chambers were already buzzing with the restless energy of the local citizens. Melissa took her seat at the elevated podium, organizing her notes. The central issue of the day was one she had fought hard for, a policy she believed would genuinely change the lives of the children in their community. She leaned toward the microphone, her voice steady and commanding. "The council story is up," Melissa announced to the crowded room, waiting for the murmurs to quiet down. "From now on, we are capping elementary school class size at 22 students." She expected a smattering of applause, perhaps some nods of approval from the local parents. Instead, a voice boomed from the back of the room, harsh and dripping with frustration. "This is garbage," a man shouted, stepping forward into the aisle. He was a tall man, his face flushed with anger, pointing an accusatory finger toward the podium. "Which is exactly what is piling up in front of my restaurant because you cut pickups to once a week." Melissa kept her expression perfectly neutral, drawing on years of political training. She understood that a reduction in trash service was the necessary sacrifice that paid for the smaller class sizes. She also understood that angry citizens, especially those feeling the immediate impact of such changes, needed to be heard. Before she could form a diplomatic response, the man continued his tirade, his voice echoing in the large room. Another council member whispered to Melissa, praising her for staying the mature, rational adult while crazy guys with trash bags came at her. "Yes, I did," Melissa murmured back, maintaining her poised demeanor. The angry restaurant owner was not finished. "Suck it, garbage guy," someone from the crowd yelled, adding fuel to the fire. Then, another man pushed his way to the front. He looked completely unraveled. His clothes were rumpled, his eyes wild with a desperate kind of fury. "Hey, do not be that guy." Melissa tried to intervene softly, hoping to de-escalate the tension. "Do not be that guy that brings your garbage into a public arena and acts like a crazy person. Act like a gentleman. Thank you." But the desperate man was not there to talk about municipal waste. He locked eyes with Melissa, his voice breaking with raw emotion. "Now, where the hell is the money your brother-in-law stole from me?" A heavy silence fell over the room. Melissa felt a familiar knot tighten in her stomach. The scandal surrounding her sister and her brother-in-law was a constant, suffocating cloud over her head. "What, my sister?" Melissa replied, her voice firm but tinged with a weariness she could not hide. "Okay, but that is not me." She stood up, looking out over the sea of faces, appealing to their shared humanity. "Let me ask the room, does anybody here have a relative they are not exactly proud of? It is not just me." A few sympathetic murmurs rippled through the crowd. Someone in the second row muttered, "At least he was cute." Melissa sighed, stepping away from the podium as the meeting was adjourned. Her assistant hurried over to her, trying to offer a silver lining. "I do not see it. You held your own up there. You remind me of your father, the esteemed senator." Melissa rubbed her temples, exhaustion finally seeping into her bones. "Oh, my goodness. Did I smell like strippers?" Her assistant chuckled. "No, you smelled like authority." "Oh, well, that is my fragrance." Melissa smiled, a spark of her usual confidence returning. "Yeah, I have to say, in all humility, I was, yes, smoking." She raised her hand for a high five. Up high, down low. "Okay. Plus, your brother-in-law and his various felonies totally shifted the focus of the meeting." The assistant nodded in agreement. "I think you put the whole trash issue to bed." But the trash issue was far from settled. When Melissa finally arrived home, the evening sun casting long shadows across her manicured lawn, she was greeted by a highly unpleasant sight. Her niece, Lennox, was standing on the porch, looking thoroughly unimpressed. "Aunt Mel?" Lennox asked, her teenage voice dripping with a mixture of sarcasm and genuine confusion. "Why are angry white guys throwing trash at our front door?" Melissa looked at the black plastic bags piled unceremoniously near her welcome mat. She sighed, feeling the weight of her dual responsibilities crashing down on her. There is a political debate in the community in which the majority feels as though. She stopped, wrinkling her nose. "This is getting heavy, and really smelly." Lennox crossed her arms, kicking gently at one of the bags. "I am just going to leave this here for you, Aunt Mel. There are like 10 more on the porch." Melissa stepped inside the house, desperate to change the subject and bring some normalcy to their fragile new living arrangement. "Hey, Lennox, did you see the dresser I put in your room?" Yeah, it is really cute, But I am okay, Lennox replied, her tone dismissive. I have got suitcases. Melissa watched her niece walk away, a profound sadness mixing with her frustration. She turned to the empty hallway, speaking her thoughts aloud. She thinks living here is temporary? Well, she no longer tells me what she thinks. It used to be, I will sneak out of the house, Aunt Mel. Let us get matching tattoos, Aunt Mel. Now it is just, because I said so, Aunt Mel. I do horrible things like put furniture in her room. Clearly, I am a monster. She knew Lennox was grieving. She knew the girl's world had been shattered by her parents' mistakes and sudden disappearance. But remembering what she herself was like at 15 years old did not offer much comfort. Melissa remembered her own teenage years as a hazy period of rebellion, though she tried to push those thoughts aside. The evening offered a brief glimmer of hope. Melissa had a date. It had been an eternity since she had allowed herself a personal life, completely consumed by the sudden arrival of her niece and nephew. She had hired Rhonda, a local woman, to stay with the children. I am going out tonight, Melissa announced to Lennox and her younger brother, Ryder, as Melissa shouted, the stress finally boiling over. The girl got suspended. She is gone. She has ditched the meeting. Joe watched the panic wash over Melissa's face and felt a surprising pang of guilt. He set down his sandwich. You know what? You are right. I just said you were right. That was a compliment. Melissa took a deep, shaky breath, trying to regain her composure. Okay, she has like 3 places she usually goes after school. I will start there. You want me to help you? Joe asked, his voice softening, dropping the bravado. Melissa looked at him, seeing a genuine desire to assist. Yes, please do. While Melissa searched the local coffee shops, Joe decided to check the house one more time. He climbed the stairs to the very top floor and pushed open the door to the dusty, unfinished attic. There, sitting on a trunk by a small window, was Lennox. She was staring out at the street, a picture of teenage misery. Nothing, Joe muttered to himself, stepping into the dim light. I can work with this kid. Wow. Lennox did not turn around. Is this where you come for your adolescent brooding? Joe asked casually, leaning against a wooden beam. You come up here to turn me in? Lennox asked, her voice thick with unshed tears. It is not really my style, Joe replied, his tone conversational. What is your style? Lennox challenged, finally looking at him. Joe smirked, playing along. Outlaw, cast out by the power brokers, forced to live a life in the city. Lennox managed a tiny, reluctant smile. Oh, kind of like Batman if he had been demoted to a nanny. Nice, Joe acknowledged, impressed by her quick wit. He walked a little closer, his tone turning serious. Aren't you supposed to be at a meeting at your principal's office right now? Lennox turned back to the window, her shoulders slumping. Why should I? Crap goes on there all the time. Miss Lent fires the music teacher, completely gets rid of the band, and everybody is afraid to talk about it. I am tired of life being unfair. How about for once it just be fair? Joe walked over and sat on a nearby crate, putting himself at her eye level. He looked at the girl, seeing past the teenage angst to the profound, life-altering grief underneath. I would be upset too, if my mom and dad bailed on me. Lennox stiffened, her defenses instantly snapping back into place. You are talking about Miss Lent. If you say so, Joe replied softly, not pushing, just letting the truth hang in the air. You do not know anything about me? Lennox snapped, a tear finally escaping and tracking down her cheek. You are right, I do not, Joe admitted gently. But what I really do not know about you is why you are taking this all out on your aunt. Lennox wiped her face aggressively. Because she is the only person who has not bailed on you, Joe continued, his voice steady and kind. Look, I know she can get a little skitsy at times, all times, but since we are talking about fair, do you really think it is fair that she has to go down to your school all alone and eat your big bowl of stink for something that she did not do? Lennox looked at him, confusion momentarily replacing her anger. Big bowl of stink? What is that? Joe offered a small, knowing smile. You will know when you have eaten one. Meanwhile, Melissa sat in the painfully small wooden chair in the principal's office. Miss Lent, a stern woman with a perpetually pinched expression, sat across the desk, her hands folded primly. Any sign of our Lennox? Miss Lent asked, her tone suggesting she already knew the answer. Melissa shifted uncomfortably, gripping the straps of her purse. Oh, Miss Lent, look, I know what Lennox did was bad. Okay, really, really bad. But if any kid has the right to be upset about what life has handed her. Look, I am not trying to excuse Lennox, I am just saying if I was Lennox, I probably would have done worse by now. In fact, I did. Miss Lent sighed dramatically, adjusting her glasses. This is pointless without Lennox. Why do we not just reschedule? You think you can manage to find her by, say, tomorrow afternoon? Melissa pulled out her heavily color-coded planner, feeling a rising sense of panic. Oh, tomorrow's city council session is all day. But we take lunch 12 to 1. I do not know when you break. Miss Lent leaned forward, her expression transforming from stern to deeply patronizing. Mrs. Burke, parenting does not fit into nice little schedule boxes. You know, it might be helpful to look not just at what Lennox is doing, but at the job you are doing. Melissa felt a hot flush of shame and anger rise in her cheeks. She was trying so hard, sacrificing her own life to keep these children out of the foster system, and this woman was judging her based on 1 week of turbulence. She is doing okay. A voice suddenly interrupted from the doorway. Melissa turned, her jaw dropping. Lennox stood there, looking nervous but resolute. She walked into the room, refusing to look at the principal, keeping her eyes fixed firmly on her aunt. Hey, Lennox said softly. I am sorry I am late, Lennox continued, taking a deep breath. She turned to face the principal. And I am sorry about the other day with the poem. And I am sorry about the stuff that I said. I was mad. And apparently not really at you. Lennox turned back to Melissa, her eyes shining with genuine sincerity. But there is no need to blame my aunt. She has been getting enough of that for me. You know, at least she is trying. Melissa felt tears prick the corners of her eyes. It was the kindest thing the girl had said to her in months. Lennox turned back to the principal, her teenage attitude slipping back into place just a little. Okay, whatever. Let us just get to the stink-eating part. Miss Lent blinked, thoroughly bewildered. The what-eating part? Later that evening, back at the house, a sense of cautious peace had settled over the living room. Joe was in the kitchen, attempting to teach Ryder how to properly chop vegetables for dinner. All right, let us see what you got, Joe instructed, watching the boy awkwardly handle the knife. Here is a thought, my hip young brother man. Try loosening up your knees a little bit. You are welcome. Ryder adjusted his stance, managing a cleaner cut. He looked up at Joe, a rare look of empathy on his young face. I heard about all the crap you have been going through. You know, with your wife going broke, losing your car, your condo. I mean, how can you even walk? Ryder immediately realized his mistake. Oh, sorry. I did not mean to. Joe laughed, a deep, rumbling sound that filled the kitchen. No, it is all right. I am aware that my life is an abyss of inky black despair. Thanks for the pep talk. Hey, could you show me how to do that? He pointed to a complicated handshake Ryder had done earlier. Only if you taped it. I have no idea, Ryder grinned. The front door opened, and Melissa walked in, looking lighter than she had in weeks. She dropped her keys in the bowl and walked straight into the kitchen, a huge, genuine smile illuminating her face. Oh, I am sorry. I am sorry. I am sorry, Melissa said, practically bouncing on her toes. Your aunt. I meant your aunt. She looked at Joe, her eyes sparkling with gratitude. Hey, so I ate my whole big bowl of stink. I even went back for seconds. Ugh. I am going to go brush my teeth now. As she turned to leave, Her eyes fell on a piece of paper resting near the fruit bowl. She picked it up, her brow furrowing. It was a check, written by Joe Longo, addressed to Lennox, for $50. The warmth in Melissa's chest instantly turned to ice. She spun around, marching back toward Joe, holding the paper up like a weapon. "Hands!" she demanded sharply. Joe looked up, wiping his hands on a towel, feigning innocence. "It was you," Melissa accused, her voice rising. "You talked her into going down there. How did you talk her into going down there?" Joe shrugged, looking incredibly pleased with himself. "People like me." "No, really," Melissa pressed, waving the check. Joe sighed, leaning against the counter. "I paid her $50. Melissa gasped, clutching her chest in horror. "A bribe? That is terrible. Not only is that wrong, that is horrible parenting." Joe did not look the least bit ashamed. In fact, he looked incredibly smug. "Well, I am not a parent, and neither are you." Ryder, who had been quietly watching the exchange, suddenly spoke up, his eyes wide with opportunistic hope. "Can I have $50? "No," Melissa and Joe snapped in perfect unison. "Then relax, all right?" Joe said, turning his attention back to the vegetables. "I wrote Lennox a personal check." Boing. Melissa stared at him, the realization slowly dawning on her. Another very valuable life lesson. The check was going to bounce. The man was completely broke. He had used a worthless piece of paper to trick a teenager into doing the right thing, and somehow, miraculously, it had worked. Melissa crossed her arms, unable to suppress a tiny, reluctant smile. "So is this how you ran your youth center right out of college?" Joe chuckled, shaking his head. "Oh, please, there was no youth center." Melissa let out a laugh of pure disbelief. "Can I speak to you in the other room?" Joe followed her into the living room, leaving Ryder to finish the vegetables. "Nice knowing you," Joe muttered to the boy. "Oh, I will be fine," Melissa assured him as they stood by the fireplace. She looked at the man who had invaded her home, yelled at her in public, lied about his resume, and bribed her niece with a bouncing check. "You lie, you bribe. Is there anything you will not do?" "Windows," Joe replied instantly, without missing a beat. Melissa could not help it. She laughed. Felt good to laugh in this house again. Joe's expression softened, dropping the sarcastic armor. "Look, Burke, I am just trying to help you out here, you know? I mean, I may have played it fast and loose, but Lennox apologized to that lung woman, right?" "Yes," Melissa admitted softly. "Yes, she did. She also, as it happens, said a few nice things about me. In front of me. It is the first time since she has been here. Frankly, it took my breath away." Joe smiled, a genuine warm smile that reached his eyes. Melissa looked at him suspiciously. "Oh my God, you did not pay her to do that too, did you?" "No," Joe said, his voice surprisingly gentle. "She gave me that one free of charge. Although it may be my mere presence in this household that is sort of seamlessly pulling everything together." Melissa rolled her eyes, but the fondness was evident. "Oh my God. Let us believe that. Oh, I almost forgot. A Regency nanny has called. They said that Mrs. Dietrich is available and that she will be here at 8 in the morning tomorrow morning." Joe's face fell slightly, the reality of his precarious situation rushing back. "You did not think I could handle this, did you?" "To be honest, no," Melissa admitted truthfully. "Not until you, pulled all that confidence out of your ass." Joe stood a little taller, a spark of hope reigniting in his chest. "So, is this official now? Because, if not, I can just, hop in my house and drive away." Melissa looked around the living room. It was still messy. There was still a mountain of laundry to do. The kids were still grieving, and the city was still angry about the trash. But for the first time in months, she did not feel like she was carrying the weight of the world completely alone. "Yeah," Melissa said softly, a smile spreading across her face. Let us give it a shot. How bad could you be? You will find out, will you not? Joe replied, a familiar smirk returning to his lips. Late that night, long after the house had finally fallen quiet, the front door clicked open. Joe was sitting on the sofa, bathed in the blue light of the television, folding an impossibly large pile of laundry. He looked up as Melissa walked in, looking exhausted but happy, kicking off her heels. So, how did your date go that lasted until 3 freaking in the morning? Joe asked, his tone teasing but carrying a hint of genuine curiosity. Melissa threw her purse onto an armchair and collapsed onto the other end of the sofa. Leave me alone, Mom. It is not a school night. And he was captain of the football team. God. Wow, I just realized I have never actually had that conversation with my own mom. I would come in at 3 in the morning, and she would send me back out for gin. Joe laughed quietly, shaking his head at the mental image. So, how did the kids get to bed? Melissa asked, wrapping a throw blanket around her shoulders. Ryder knocked out about 11, Joe reported, neatly folding a towel. And Lennox was, 1:30. Melissa's eyes went wide. 1:30. All right, she just got in bed now when she heard the car pulling in. Joe admitted, holding up his hands in defense. But she is caught up on biology and math, and the 5th season of Lost. Melissa smiled, letting her head fall back against the cushions. She listened to the quiet hum of the house, feeling a profound sense of gratitude for the strange, chaotic, beautiful family they were slowly building. Suddenly, a loud, booming voice shattered the quiet of the night outside. Army Delivery Council, babe. Melissa jumped, startled. Joe frowned, walking over to the window and peering through the blinds. Does it? What is that face? Did you forget something? Hey! Joe's voice pitched up in surprise. Holy nuts, that guy is huge. Mel, this guy. I am not kidding. This guy is huge, Mel. Melissa sighed, pulling the blanket tighter around her, a small, weary smile playing on her lips. It seemed the sitcom of her life was simply ready for its next episode. The bright, unforgiving lights of the city council chambers beat down on Melissa Burke, illuminating the polished mahogany of the podium and the sea of restless faces before her. To the casual observer, she was the picture of political grace, poised, impeccably dressed in a sharp tailored suit, and radiating an aura of absolute authority. By day, she was a dedicated public servant, navigating the treacherous waters of local government. By night, as her colleagues often teased her, she was a vibrant, single woman trying to navigate the even more treacherous waters of modern romance. But today, the heat was on, and Melissa knew that if she did not stand firm, nothing in this fractured town would ever get accomplished. The agenda item on the floor was a highly contentious one. Melissa leaned toward the microphone, her voice carrying a calm, soothing resonance that belied the tension in the room. She announced that, moving forward, the city would be capping elementary school class sizes at a strict limit of 22 students. It was a massive victory for the local education system, a triumph for the children. But not everyone was celebrating. From the back of the room, a large, disgruntled man pushed his way toward the front. His face was flushed with anger, and in his hands, he carried a heavy, foul-smelling bag of household refuse. He hurled it onto the floor before the council table, the plastic splitting open to reveal coffee grounds and crumpled paper. He shouted that her new policy was absolute garbage, much like the actual garbage that was currently piling up in front of his restaurant because the city council had just voted to cut trash pickups to a mere once a week. Melissa did not flinch. She did not raise her voice. She looked at the angry citizen with a steady, compassionate gaze. She explained, with the patience of a saint, that a reduction in trash service was the necessary sacrifice that would pay for the smaller, more effective class sizes for their children. She watched as crazy men with trash bags came at her, and she remained the mature, rational adult in the room. She had held her ground. She had won. But the peace was short-lived. Before the murmurs in the room could die down, another man burst through the heavy oak doors at the back of the chamber. He looked completely out of place, wearing a suit that was a little too expensive for a Tuesday afternoon, though his tie was loosened and his eyes were wild with desperation. He stormed down the center aisle, pointing directly at Melissa. He demanded to know where the money was. He shouted for the entire room to hear, demanding the whereabouts of the funds her brother-in-law had stolen from him. The room gasped. Melissa felt a sharp spike of anxiety pierce her chest, but she masked it instantly with a practiced, self-deprecating smile. She leaned into the microphone again. She clarified, keeping her tone light, that the man was referring to her sister's husband. That was her sister's family, she reminded the crowd, not her. She then looked out at the audience, her eyes sweeping over the concerned faces of her constituents. She asked the room with a warm, inclusive chuckle if anybody there had a relative they were not exactly proud of. Laughter rippled through the chamber. Hands went up. The tension evaporated. She reminded them that it was not just her who suffered the embarrassment of difficult family members. She had defused the bomb, turning a public humiliation into a moment of shared human connection. Later, walking down the quiet corridors of City Hall, Melissa walked beside her trusted assistant and confidant, Rhonda. Rhonda, a sharp-witted woman who always spoke her mind, noted that at least the crazy guy looking for the money had been rather cute. Melissa shook her head, adjusting her blazer, and admitted that she simply did not see it. Rhonda praised Melissa, telling her that she had held her own up there under immense pressure. Rhonda smiled and said that Melissa reminded her of her late father, the esteemed senator. Melissa paused, a sudden wave of self-consciousness washing over her. She frantically sniffed her own lapel, asking in a panicked whisper if she smelled like the cheap perfume of late-night exotic dancers. Rhonda laughed, assuring her that she did not. Rhonda told her that she smelled like authority. Melissa smiled, her confidence returning in full force. She declared that authority was indeed her signature fragrance. She admitted, with a heavy dose of playful humility, that she had been absolutely spectacular up on that stage. They shared a triumphant, joyous moment, celebrating the victory. Rhonda pointed out that the brother-in-law and his various felonies had actually done them a massive favor. By bursting into the room and causing a scene about stolen money, the desperate man had completely shifted the focus of the meeting. The entire angry debate over the trash issue had been put to bed. But the trash issue was waiting for Melissa the moment she arrived home. As she pulled into her driveway, the reality of her new life hit her like a physical weight. Her beautiful, once quiet home was now the epicenter of a domestic crisis. Standing on the front porch was her teenage niece, Lennox. The girl looked at Melissa with a mixture of confusion and disgust. Lennox pointed to the front door, asking why angry white men were currently throwing bags of trash at their front door. Melissa sighed, feeling the headache beginning to form at her temples. She tried to explain the complex political debate occurring within the community, how the majority felt a certain way about municipal funding, but the smell was overpowering. The air was heavy and deeply unpleasant. Lennox cut her off, stepping back inside. She casually mentioned that she was just going to leave the current bag of trash right there for her aunt, adding that there were at least 10 more identical bags scattered across the porch. Melissa followed her niece inside, stepping over discarded shoes and a stray skateboard. She called out to Lennox, trying to bridge the ever-widening gap between them. She asked if Lennox had seen the new dresser she had carefully picked out and placed in her bedroom. Lennox paused on the stairs, her expression carefully blank. She nodded, admitting that the piece of furniture was really cute, but insisted that she was perfectly fine. She stated that she still had her suitcases. Melissa stood at the bottom of the stairs, her heart aching. She realized with a sinking feeling that Lennox still believed her living situation was entirely temporary. The girl still thought her parents were coming back to whisk her away, a reality Melissa knew was tragically impossible with her sister currently locked away in a federal prison. Melissa muttered to herself, feeling the sting of the rejection. She remembered a time when her niece would actually tell her what she was thinking. Now, the relationship had devolved into a series of rebellious phases. It used to be threats of sneaking out of the house, then it was demands to get matching tattoos. Now, the girl simply rebelled by refusing to unpack. Melissa felt like a monster for doing something as horrible as putting permanent furniture in the girl's bedroom. Rhonda, who had followed Melissa home to help her prepare for her evening, chimed in. She gently reminded Melissa that teenage girls were notoriously difficult. She asked if Melissa remembered what she herself was like at the age of 15. Melissa smiled a tight, rueful smile, admitting that she did not remember those years very clearly, heavily implying that she had been quite the wild child back in her day. Pushing the domestic strife aside, Melissa focused on the evening ahead. She announced that she was finally going out. It was a major event. She had not been on a single date since her niece and nephew had moved in. Rhonda agreed to stay and watch the kids, making sure they had everything they needed. Melissa sought out her nephew, Ryder. She found him bouncing a basketball in the driveway. She told him that his coach had mentioned he needed to work on a better jump shot. She asked Rhonda if she knew anything about basketball. Rhonda deadpanned that Asian women were universally known for their deep passion for the sport of basketball. Melissa left Rhonda in charge, giving her strict instructions to make sure the kids did their homework, to ensure they were good, and above all else, to make sure Ryder did not torch the place. It was not an idle worry. Rhonda recalled the incident clearly. It had only been one single, isolated alarm fire, but it had been significant. It happened at Ryder's old house. During the terrible week, his father had run off and abandoned the family. The boy had been consumed by a quiet, burning anger. He had calmly walked into his father's closet, gathered 20 of his expensive designer suits, carried them out to the driveway, stacked them in a neat pile, doused them in top-shelf cognac, and lit them ablaze. Melissa sighed, noting that while everyone needed to let their feelings out every now and then, setting things on fire was an urge they strictly needed to repress. Upstairs, the atmosphere was chaotic as Melissa tried to get ready. She confessed to Rhonda that it had been so incredibly long since she had been on a date that she was actually feeling nervous. She held up 2 different outfits, asking for an opinion. She noted that the first outfit said she was smart, independent, and had a bright political future ahead of her. The second outfit, however, whispered that the former bad girl was finally back in action. Rhonda looked at the second outfit and dryly asked if Melissa was planning on going hiking. Melissa quickly discarded the second option. Just as the excitement of the evening began to build, the telephone rang. Melissa answered, her cheerful demeanor dropping instantly as she heard the voice on the other end. It was Mrs. Lent, the principal of the local school. Melissa listened in growing horror as the principal detailed the events of the day. Lennox had done something terrible. Melissa paced the floor, gripping the phone tightly. She asked when it happened, where it happened, and if it had truly happened that very day. She defended her niece to the principal, stating that she found the allegations incredibly hard to believe, especially since Lennox had not mentioned a single word of it. Melissa insisted that this behavior was not at all typical for the girl. She assured the principal that she understood the gravity of the situation, that she knew it was incredibly serious, and she offered her deepest apologies. When she finally hung up the phone, Melissa turned to Rhonda, her face pale. She explained the unbelievable news. That very day at school, Lennox had taken it upon herself to hand out printed flyers to the student body. These flyers contained an original, highly offensive poem that rhymed the principal's last name in a deeply creative, yet entirely inappropriate way. The poem had not gone over well with Mrs. Lent. Rhonda winced, pointing out that there was a very real possibility the local news station, Channel 5, might pick up the story. Melissa groaned, confirming that she was fairly certain they would, considering she had just been on live television denying that any chaos was happening in her district. Melissa sank onto the edge of her bed, feeling the weight of the world crushing her shoulders. The kids had only been living with her for 2 months, and already Lennox had managed to get herself officially suspended from school. Melissa sarcastically awarded herself the title of Legal Guardian of the Year. Rhonda moved to comfort her, gently insisting that Melissa needed to hire someone to help. She suggested a professional organizer, a nanny, someone who could provide the children with the rigid structure and discipline they so desperately needed, joking that perhaps electroshock therapy might also be required. Rhonda looked Melissa in the eye and told her the hard truth. She simply could not do everything by herself. Melissa gathered her resolve. She agreed that she might not be able to do everything, but she could certainly handle this specific crisis. It was simply a matter of marching upstairs and setting the teenage girl straight. She took a deep breath and stormed toward Lennox's room. She found Lennox entirely unbothered. Melissa demanded to know why she was the one dealing with this, rhetorically asking why her sister was not there to discipline her own daughter. She answered her own question, stating the bitter truth that her sister was currently locked up in a federal penitentiary. Melissa tried a different approach, attempting to connect with the girl. She brought up a fond memory, asking if Lennox remembered the time the two of them had gone to a Fall Out Boy concert together. She mentioned an old photograph from that night that she had just found. Lennox rolled her eyes, pointing out that the picture had been hanging very obviously in the hallway right outside the bedroom door for weeks. Melissa corrected her, saying it was hanging affectionately, not obviously. She reminisced about the music, the fun they had shared, trying to remind Lennox of the times when they used to talk to each other, when they used to share important things. Melissa then dropped the facade and asked why Lennox had not thought to share the fact that she had been suspended from school that day. Lennox crossed her arms, defensive and angry. She stated bluntly that Mrs. Lent was a fascist. Melissa, exasperated, asked why the girl could not have simply called the principal a fascist instead of writing a wildly inappropriate rhyming poem. Lennox fired back that she had never once gotten into trouble at her old school. Melissa countered, pointing out that Lennox never got into trouble at her old school because her wealthy parents had essentially purchased the school's indoor swimming pool. Lennox scoffed, dismissing the fact by complaining that the pool did not even have a spa attached to it. The argument was going nowhere. Melissa laid down the law. She informed Lennox that the principal was expecting a formal, in-person apology. She told her niece that they had a mandatory appointment scheduled down in the principal's office at exactly 3 o'clock the very next afternoon. Lennox crossed the room, dripping with sarcasm, and told her aunt to let her know how that meeting went, implying she would not be attending. Melissa stood her ground. She told Lennox that until she went down there and spoke to the principal, she was not allowed to go back to school. Lennox shrugged indifferently, declaring that she simply would not go back to school then. Melissa felt her blood pressure rising, insisting that education was the most important thing in the world. Suddenly, the doorbell rang. It was her date. Melissa pointed a stern finger at Lennox, ordering her to stay exactly where she was because the conversation was far from over. She hurried downstairs, her mind racing. She opened the front door, fully expecting to see the handsome face of her evening companion. Instead, she was greeted by the sight of the desperate, angry man from the city council meeting. She let out a groan of profound disappointment. She told him she was expecting someone else and promised to be quick. The man, whose name was Joe, looked deeply humbled. He apologized for his previous behavior. He admitted that he had been an absolute jackass down at City Hall. He confessed that he never should have crashed her important meeting to scream about where her brother-in-law was. He acknowledged that his actions were completely wrong, and he stated that he had driven all the way to her house simply to look her in the eye and say that he was sorry. Melissa looked at him, her guard still up. She threw out the name of a country, Bolivia. She stated firmly that her brother-in-law, Louis, was currently hiding in Bolivia. Joe physically flinched at the word. Melissa noticed the reaction immediately. Joe defended himself, claiming he only flinched because she had shouted the word so suddenly, joking that people actually living in Bolivia had probably flinched as well. He swore to her that he had no idea where the man was hiding. Melissa sighed, exhausted by the drama, and told him to get lost and leave her alone. Just as Joe stepped back, a beautifully dressed man walked up the path. It was Griffin, Melissa's date. He smelled incredibly handsome, radiating charm and a carefree life that Melissa desperately wanted to be a part of. Griffin looked at Joe with confusion, asking who the bald man was. Melissa quickly dismissed Joe as a nobody. She turned to Griffin, her heart sinking. She looked into his eyes and confessed that she knew they had both waited a very long time for this date to happen. She told him how excited she had been. But then, she laid out the miserable reality of her evening. She explained that she had a teenage niece who was currently in the middle of a massive crisis. She told him how desperately she wanted to go out, how much she wanted to spend time with him, and she complimented him again on how fantastic he smelled. But she had to cancel. She had to stay home and be a parent. To soften the blow of the last-minute cancellation, Melissa grabbed a massive container of food she had prepared earlier, a whole bucket of rich, savory gravy, and handed it to the bewildered Griffin. She told him that the food should hold him over for a few weeks, or perhaps more, considering she had no idea when her family life would stabilize enough for her to try dating again. Griffin accepted the heavy bucket, completely stunned by the bizarre turn of events, and walked away into the night. Melissa closed the door, leaning her forehead against the cool wood. She walked back into the living room, where Rhonda was waiting. She apologized for taking so long. Rhonda surprised her by holding up a stack of papers. She announced that she had taken the initiative to fill out all the necessary paperwork for the professional nanny agency. Melissa felt a wave of relief wash over her. She told Rhonda to relax, declaring that despite the disastrous cancellation of her date, this was a happy visit today. But Joe had not left. He had slipped inside the house behind her. He stood in her living room, completely uninvited, and announced that he had spent the previous night looking through the city budget online. He told her he had found the general fund. He pitched a wild idea. He wanted her to hire him. He promised that if she gave him control of the money just sitting there, he could double her rate of return. He argued that with his financial expertise, the city would magically have enough money to fund the smaller class sizes, reinstate the extra garbage pickups, and still have enough left over to buy pie for everyone in town. Melissa stared at him, absolutely astounded by his audacity. She told him that his plan sounded wonderful and that she would sign up immediately if he were not a complete and total lunatic. Joe straightened his posture, his pride wounded. He introduced himself formally as Joseph Longo. He stated clearly that he was not a lunatic. He explained his background, revealing that he was the man who had run the commodities division for her brother-in-law. He stated with fierce pride that he had made her brother-in-law millions upon millions of dollars. He emphasized that it was all legitimate money, wealth that her bastard brother-in-law had subsequently stolen and squandered. Melissa felt a pang of sympathy, mixed with her lingering resentment. She dryly reminded him that this was supposed to be a happy visit. Joe nodded, acknowledging that his pitch had taken a dark turn, joking that he had gone a little bit Bolivia there for a minute. He pressed on, asking if she could possibly help him secure a job working downtown at City Hall. Melissa shook her head, explaining the harsh reality that there was a strict hiring freeze across all city departments. She offered her genuine condolences for the loss of his career. Joe laughed a hollow, bitter laugh. He told her that losing his job was old news. He revealed the cascading tragedy of his life over the past few days. Just yesterday, the bank had taken his beautiful condominium. He admitted he was in a desperate situation because the repo men were currently tracking him down to take away his luxury car. And to top off the misery, he announced the morning's biggest headline. His adorable wife had officially packed her bags and moved back into her mother's house. He sighed, looking out the window, muttering that he was really going to miss his car. Melissa tried to let him down gently. She told him that while his situation was tragic, she had a mountain of her own problems to deal with. Joe looked at her, his desperation turning into frustration. He asked if she was really going to refuse to help a man who technically lived in her district, arguing that since he was now effectively living inside his car, he was a constituent in need. Melissa laid her cards on the table. She explained that she was drowning. She had endless political meetings, a literal revolt over garbage happening on her front lawn, a teenage girl teetering on the brink of disaster, and an immediate, desperate need for professional help to manage her household. Joe's eyes lit up. He looked around the messy house, calculating the opportunity. He pointed out the paperwork from the nanny agency sitting on the table. He told her flatly that she would never find anybody good through an agency. He grabbed the paper, scanned the numbers, and bluntly stated that the salary she was offering was terrible. Melissa fired back, defending the compensation package. She argued that it was a living wage, especially since it included free meals that the nanny would be expected to cook because otherwise, everyone in the house would surely starve. Joe zeroed in on her pronoun usage. He asked why the nanny had to be a she. He mockingly asked if only people of a specific gender were allowed to apply for the position. Melissa, caught off guard by his sudden application for a domestic role, looked at his bald head and asked a highly personal, defensive question about whether his hair had gotten sick of him and decided to leave. Joe ignored the insult, viewing it as the opening to a negotiation. He leaned in, demanding to know what her absolute top number was for the salary. Melissa stood firm, declaring that the number on the paper was her maximum offer. Joe accepted the terms immediately. He stated he had a deal, but added a caveat that he could not officially start until the following Monday. Melissa scoffed, asking who exactly had offered him the job in the first place. Seeing her hesitation, Joe quickly pivoted. He announced that he could actually start right that very minute. He explained that he just needed to move a few things around in his schedule, which mostly consisted of moving his car to avoid the Tuesday Street cleaning sweepers. Melissa looked at the former corporate powerhouse standing in her messy living room. She asked if he fully understood that they were discussing a nanny position. She reminded him that there were actual children involved. She asked if he had ever worked with kids before. Joe did not miss a beat. He confidently told her that right out of college, he had run a massive youth center in the worst part of downtown. He spun a glorious tale of being solely in charge of 50 troubled teenagers. He claimed he cooked all their meals from scratch and spent hours helping them with their complicated homework. He compared himself to a legendary television character, claiming he was absolutely in charge of the situation. Melissa looked at him, exhausted and devoid of better options. She told him he sounded absolutely perfect for the role. She added that there was only one tiny, lingering detail. She really did not like him as a person. The next morning, the reality of Melissa's chaotic life resumed in full force. She rushed downstairs, frantic because the school bus was not running. The massive garbage protest had completely blocked off Jackson Street. She cursed her luck, repeating her frustration over and over. She realized she was going to have to drive Ryder to school herself, which meant she was going to miss a vital morning meeting. She joked darkly that it was not like the city actually needed a functioning police department anyway. Suddenly, Joe appeared, looking remarkably refreshed. He calmly told her to stop panicking. He assured her that she would make her important meeting because he was going to take the boy to school. Ryder came downstairs, looking at the stranger in their house. Joe introduced himself with a casual smile. He pointed out the window to the sleek, incredibly expensive Porsche parked in the driveway. He told the boy the car belonged to him, adding under his breath that it was his for exactly 10 more days before the repo men finally caught up with him. Ryder's eyes went wide. He declared the car was sweet. Joe hesitated, unsure of how to interact with the kid, but finally just told him to buckle his seatbelt and get ready for a ride. As they drove away, Rhonda arrived for work. She watched the sports car peel out of the driveway. She recognized Joe immediately as the cute, yelling man from the city council meeting the day before. Melissa confirmed his identity, explaining that he was a newly homeless commodities trader who was now taking care of her niece and nephew. She asked Rhonda how crazy she sounded in that exact moment. Rhonda was surprisingly supportive. She agreed with the bottom line. The situation sounded great. She validated Melissa's choice, calling Joe the perfect nanny, agreeing that Melissa simply could not handle the pressure all by herself. Melissa quickly backtracked, insisting that the former commodities trader was only a temporary fix. She also stubbornly reiterated that she did not find him cute in the slightest, pointing out again that the man had absolutely no hair. Rhonda, preferring order and predictability, asked when Melissa was going to formally interview the professional nanny from the agency. Before Melissa could answer, Joe walked back through the front door. He looked around the house, a look of profound disgust on his face. He demanded to know the last time anybody in the family had bothered to do a load of laundry. He called them out, stating that the family lived like absolute pigs. He held up a basket of clothing. Melissa gasped, realizing he was holding her delicate undergarments. She demanded to know how he had gotten his hands on her delicates, accusing him of snooping around inside her private bedroom. Joe unapologetically confirmed that he had indeed been in her room. Melissa turned to Rhonda, her patience entirely depleted, and ordered her assistant to pull the trigger and hire the professional agency nanny immediately. Joe casually agreed with her decision, mentioning that he should probably go eat a sandwich while he still could. A moment later, Melissa heard footsteps upstairs. She demanded to know why Ryder was back home in the middle of the school day. Joe calmly explained that the boy was working on his history paper. Melissa's eyes narrowed. The veins in her forehead began to throb. Joe told her to relax and pack the veins back into her head. He recounted the morning's events. He explained that he had driven the kid all the way to the school drop-off zone. Right before getting out of the car, Ryder had casually mentioned that he did not have his history paper with him. They had driven all the way back to the house to retrieve it. It was only then that Ryder confessed he had not actually written the paper at all. Joe explained his methodology. He told the boy that since the paper was due that very day, he had better sit down and write it immediately. He had confined Ryder to his room, explicitly stating that the boy was not allowed to come out until the assignment was completely finished. Joe looked at Melissa, proud of his disciplinary action, calling it prime nannying. Melissa was horrified. She told Joe that bringing a kid home for not doing his work was entirely the wrong approach. She argued that the correct parenting procedure was to leave the unprepared child at the school so he could face the consequences and get yelled at by his teachers, which was exactly what the boy had coming to him. Joe looked confused, asking what kind of bizarre rules those were. Melissa confidently stated that those were the universal rules that everybody knew. Joe shrugged, reminding her that he was somebody, and he had never heard of those rules in his entire life. The debate over parenting styles was cut short when Melissa checked her watch. It was time for the dreaded meeting with the principal. She called out for Lennox, telling her it was time to go. There was no answer. She searched the downstairs rooms. She turned to Joe, panic rising in her chest, demanding to know where the girl was. She accused Joe of failing in his duties, stating that he was supposed to be watching her. Joe defended himself, pointing out that Melissa had never actually assigned him that specific task. Melissa argued that it was completely obvious that he should be watching the girl who had just been suspended from school. Realization dawned on Melissa. Lennox was gone. She had intentionally ditched the mandatory meeting. Joe nodded slowly, admitting that Melissa was entirely correct in her assessment of the situation. Melissa paused, surprised by his sudden agreement, taking it as a rare compliment. She sprang into action. She mentally listed the 3 places Lennox usually went to hide after school and announced she would start searching there. Joe genuinely offered his assistance, asking if she wanted him to help her look. Melissa, desperate for any support, begged him to please do so. While Melissa scoured the neighborhood, finding absolutely nothing, Joe took a different approach. He reasoned out where a brooding teenager might go to feel dramatic and isolated. He found Lennox exactly where he suspected she would be, sitting alone in a quiet, elevated spot overlooking the city. He approached her cautiously. He commented on her choice of location, asking if this was her designated spot for adolescent brooding. Lennox looked at him with suspicion, asking if he had climbed all the way up there just to turn her in to her aunt. Joe shook his head, leaning against a railing. He told her that turning people in was not really his style. Lennox challenged him, asking what his style actually was. Joe smiled a bitter smile. He described himself as an outlaw, a man cast out by the powerful brokers of the world, forced to live a hard life in the gritty city. Lennox smirked, noting that his description sounded a lot like the superhero Batman, only if Batman had suffered a humiliating demotion and been forced to work as a household nanny. Joe laughed, acknowledging the accuracy of the comparison. He shifted the conversation to the matter at hand. He asked why she was not currently sitting in her principal's office for the required meeting. Lennox sighed, her anger bubbling to the surface. She explained that she saw no point in going. She described the deep injustice of the school system, detailing how Mrs. Lent fired the beloved music teacher and completely eliminated the school band program, and yet everyone was too terrified to speak up about it. She confessed that she was just incredibly tired of life being constantly unfair. She wished that, just for once, things could be fair. Joe listened quietly. He nodded, his voice softening with empathy. He told her that if his own mother and father had completely bailed on him, he would probably be incredibly upset, too. Lennox snapped at him, defensively claiming she was talking about the school principal, not her parents. Joe accepted her deflection, admitting that he did not know anything about her personal life. But he pressed further, telling her that what he really did not understand was why she was taking all of her anger and pain out on her aunt. He reminded Lennox that Melissa was the only person in her life who had not abandoned her. He acknowledged that her aunt could be a little scattered and frantic at times, perhaps even all the time, but he brought the conversation back to the concept of fairness. He asked Lennox to look deep inside herself and answer honestly. Did she really think it was fair that her aunt was currently sitting down at the school, entirely alone, being forced to eat a massive bowl of stink for a mistake she did not even commit? Lennox looked at him, her brow furrowed in confusion. She asked what a big bowl of stink was supposed to mean. Joe smiled a sad, knowing smile, telling her that she would understand the exact meaning of the phrase once she had been forced to eat one herself. Meanwhile, back at the school, Melissa sat in a small, uncomfortable chair across from the formidable Mrs. Lent. The principal looked over her glasses, asking if there was any sign of Lennox. Melissa awkwardly apologized. She tried to defend her niece's actions. She admitted that what Lennox had done with the poem was very, very bad. But she pleaded for understanding, arguing that if any kid in the world had the right to be deeply upset about the terrible hand life had dealt her, it was Lennox. She quickly clarified that she was not trying to excuse the bad behavior, but she confessed that if she were in Lennox's shoes, she probably would have done much worse things by now. In fact, she admitted softly when she was a teenager, she actually had done much worse. Mrs. Lent was entirely unmoved by the emotional plea. She stated coldly that the entire meeting was pointless without the student present. She suggested they simply reschedule the disciplinary hearing. She asked Melissa if she could manage to track down her own niece by the following afternoon. Melissa pulled out her schedule, her anxiety peaking. She explained that the city council was in session all day tomorrow. She nervously offered to come in during her designated lunch hour between 12 and 1, though she admitted she did not know when the principal took her own breaks. Mrs. Lent closed her folder with a sharp snap. She looked down at Melissa with a judgmental glare. She delivered a crushing blow, stating that the duties of parenting simply did not fit into nice, neat little scheduled boxes. She suggested, her voice dripping with condescension, that it might be highly helpful for Melissa to look not just at the bad things Lennox was doing, but to take a long, hard look at the terrible job she herself was doing as a guardian. Melissa took the insult, swallowing her pride, trying to maintain her composure. Just as she was about to accept defeat, the office door slowly opened. It was Lennox. The teenager walked into the room, looking nervous but resolute. She stood beside her aunt and sincerely apologized for being late. She turned to the principal and offered a genuine apology for the events of the previous day regarding the offensive poem. She then turned to Melissa, looking her directly in the eyes. Lennox apologized for the hurtful things she had said. She admitted that she had been incredibly mad, but realized her anger was not actually directed at her aunt. She told the principal that there was absolutely no need to blame Melissa for any of this. She defended her aunt, stating clearly that Melissa had been getting more than enough blame lately, and that the woman was, at the very least, genuinely trying her best. Lennox crossed her arms, returning to her teenage persona. She looked at Joe, who had quietly followed her into the room, and declared that she was ready to get to the part where she had to eat the terrible smell. The principal looked completely baffled, asking what on earth the girl was talking about. Later that afternoon, the atmosphere back at the house had completely shifted. The heavy tension that had suffocated the family for weeks seemed to have finally lifted. Out in the driveway, Joe was playing basketball with Ryder. He was teaching the boy the finer points of the game. He demonstrated a move, telling the young man to try loosening up his knees a little bit to improve his stance. Ryder tried it and the shot went in. He thanked Joe. Joe paused, the ball resting on his hip. He looked at Ryder, his tone turning serious but gentle. He told the boy that he had heard all about the terrible crap the family had been going through. Ryder, trying to relate to the older man, mentioned that he had heard about Joe's awful situation as well. He listed the tragedies: the wife leaving, going completely broke, losing the expensive car, getting kicked out of the luxury condo. Ryder looked at Joe with genuine innocent wonder and asked how the man could even manage to walk upright with all that heavy sadness weighing him down. Realizing he had stepped over a line, Ryder quickly backtracked, apologizing profusely, saying he did not mean to bring it all up. Joe waved off the apology, assuring the boy it was perfectly fine. He joked darkly that he was fully aware his life was currently a deep, bottomless abyss of inky black despair. Ryder chuckled awkwardly, thanking Joe for the incredibly depressing pep talk. He then pointed at the basketball, asking if Joe could show him how to do another trick. Joe laughed, admitting he could only replicate the move if someone had caught it on tape, confessing he had absolutely no idea how he had pulled it off in the first place. Inside the house, Melissa watched the interaction through the window, a small, genuine smile playing on her lips. When Joe came back inside, she called out to him. She admitted that she had eaten her entire bowl of stink in the principal's office, joking that she had even gone back for a second helping. Joe laughed, saying he needed to go brush his teeth just thinking about it. Melissa stopped him, holding out her hands. She looked at him with newfound respect. She realized he was the one who had made the miracle happen. She knew he was the one who had talked Lennox into going down to the school. She asked him, genuine awe in her voice, exactly how he had managed to talk the stubborn girl into doing such a difficult thing. She asked if he simply possessed a natural charisma that made people like him. Joe shook his head, his face entirely serious. He told her the absolute truth. He confessed that he had simply paid the girl $50. Melissa's jaw dropped. She stared at him in utter disbelief. She accused him of bribing a child. She told him that not only was his method morally wrong, but it was also a prime example of absolutely horrible parenting. Joe shrugged off the criticism, casually reminding her that he was not a real parent, and pointing out that she wasn't exactly a natural at it either. Ryder, who had overheard the conversation from the hallway, poked his head into the room. He eagerly asked if he could also have $50. Joe shot the kid down instantly with a firm negative. Joe turned back to Melissa, telling her to relax and look at the bigger picture. He revealed a crucial detail. He had written Lennox a personal bank check. Given his current catastrophic financial situation, that check was guaranteed to bounce higher than a rubber ball. He smiled a wicked smile, declaring that the bouncing check would serve as yet another incredibly valuable life lesson for the teenager regarding the harsh realities of the world. Melissa could not help but laugh. The sheer audacity of the man was breathtaking. She asked him if this was exactly the kind of shady methodology he had employed when he was supposedly running that downtown youth center right out of college. Joe rolled his eyes, finally coming clean. He begged her to stop bringing it up, confessing that there had never actually been any youth center. Melissa pointed toward the other room, asking to speak with him in private. As they walked away, Ryder called out to Joe, telling him it was nice knowing him, fully expecting the man to be fired on the spot. Joe confidently told the boy he would be perfectly fine. In the privacy of the living room, Melissa confronted him. She listed his crimes. He lied straight to her face about his resume. He shamelessly bribed a teenager. And she honestly wondered if there was anything in the world he would not sink to doing. Joe smiled, offering that he absolutely refused to do windows. He dropped the jokes and looked at her earnestly. He explained that he was simply trying to help her out of a terrible jam. He admitted that he might have played the situation incredibly fast and extremely loose with the rules, but he pointed out the undeniable results. Lennox had actually shown up. The girl had looked the principal in the eye and sincerely apologized to the woman. Melissa felt the fight drain out of her. She nodded slowly, agreeing with him. She admitted that Lennox had indeed apologized. More importantly, she confessed that Lennox had actually stood up and said several very nice things about her. Right there in the room, right in front of her face. She whispered that it was the very first time the girl had shown her any warmth since moving in 2 months ago. She admitted, her voice thick with sudden emotion, that the gesture had frankly taken her breath away. She looked at Joe, a sudden paranoid thought crossing her mind. She desperately asked him to swear that he had not paid the girl extra money to say those nice things about her too. Joe laughed softly, assuring her that he had nothing to do with that part. He promised that Lennox had given her that specific gift entirely free of charge. However, Joe could not resist adding a touch of arrogance. He suggested that it might just be his mere powerful presence in the household that was somehow, magically, and seamlessly pulling the fractured family back together. Melissa rolled her eyes, telling him to go ahead and let himself believe that fantasy if it made him happy. She then remembered the logistical details. She informed Joe that the fancy Regency nanny agency had called her back. They had confirmed that the highly recommended, strictly professional Mrs. Dietrich was officially available and was scheduled to arrive at the house bright and early at 8 o'clock the next morning. Joe looked at her, a hint of disappointment in his eyes. He asked if she really believed he was entirely incapable of handling the job. Melissa looked at him, evaluating the chaotic, completely unorthodox, yet undeniably effective day they had just survived. She answered honestly. She admitted that she had not believed he could handle it, at least not until he had somehow managed to pull all that bizarre, effective confidence out of thin air to save the day. Joe stood up straighter. He asked if this meant his employment was officially confirmed. He pointed out that if she was not going to hire him, he needed to know immediately so he could simply go hop into his car, which was currently serving as his house, and drive away into the night. Melissa looked around the room, feeling a strange sense of peace she had not felt in months. She looked at the disgraced corporate trader who had lied his way into her home, bribed her niece with a bad check, and somehow managed to bring her family a fraction of an inch closer together. She smiled. She decided to take the leap of faith. She told him they were going to give it a real shot. She asked herself aloud just how bad the situation could possibly get. Joe smiled back, a genuine, warm smile, and promised her that they were all certainly going to find out together. Hours later, the house was dark and quiet. It was the middle of the night. Melissa unlocked the front door and stepped quietly into the hallway, slipping off her high heels. She looked exhausted but happy. Joe was sitting in the living room, reading a book by the light of a single lamp. He looked up, checking the clock. He noted that her date had lasted until 3 in the morning. He asked, a teasing lilt in his voice, exactly how the evening had gone to keep her out so late. Melissa felt a sudden, bizarre sense of role reversal. She shushed him, acting like a rebellious teenager sneaking back into her mother's house. She defensively reminded him that it was not a school night. She added, a girlish excitement in her whisper, that the man she had been out with used to be the captain of his high school football team. She paused, a profound realization hitting her. She stared at Joe, her eyes wide. She confessed that she had just realized something deeply tragic about her own childhood. She admitted that she had never, ever been able to have this kind of classic, late-night, hushed conversation with her own mother. She revealed that back in her wild days, whenever she would stumble into her house at 3 in the morning, her mother would simply look up and send her right back out into the dark to buy more gin. Joe offered a sympathetic nod, understanding the deep generational dysfunction she was battling against. He shifted the subject back to the present. Melissa asked how he had managed to get the kids into bed. Joe proudly reported his success. He noted that Ryder had completely knocked out and gone to sleep right around 11 o'clock. Lennox, however, had stayed up much later. Joe reported that the teenager had finally turned in at exactly 1:30. Melissa's eyes bugged out. She whisper-shouted, repeating the time in disbelief, horrified that a teenager was awake that late. Joe quickly defended his timeline. He assured her that the girl had only just gotten into her bed the moment she heard Melissa's car pulling into the driveway. He quickly added the silver lining, reporting that during those late-night hours, Lennox had managed to get entirely caught up on all of her missing biology and mathematics homework. And, he added with a sheepish grin, she had also managed to binge-watch the entire 5th season of the television show Lost. Before Melissa could scold him for his terrible enforcement of a bedtime, a massive, booming noise echoed from the front porch. A delivery man, wearing a heavy uniform, stood on the porch, holding a large clipboard. He shouted out, completely ignoring the late hour, announcing a delivery for the city council. Melissa jumped, startled by the sudden intrusion. She moved toward the door, asking Joe what kind of face the man was making. She wondered aloud if she had forgotten to order something, or if this was another bizarre political protest. Joe opened the door, his eyes going wide as he took in the sheer size of the man standing on the porch. The delivery man was built like a professional wrestler, towering over them, his shoulders blocking out the moonlight. Joe stumbled backward, instantly intimidated. He turned to Melissa, his newfound confidence evaporating in an instant. He called out her name, his voice cracking slightly. He pointed at the doorway, swearing to her that he was not joking around. He frantically warned her that the man standing on their porch was absolutely, unbelievably huge. Melissa sighed, pulling her blazer tighter around herself, realizing that in this new, crazy life she had accidentally built, the unpredictable chaos was never truly going to end. But as she looked at Joe hiding behind the door frame and thought of the kids sleeping safely upstairs, she realized she wouldn't trade this chaotic, beautiful mess for anything in the world. The bright, unforgiving lights of the local television studio beat down on the polished wooden floor of the Civic Center. The room was packed with citizens, their murmurs creating a low, humming vibration that echoed against the high ceilings. Melissa Burke stood just off the main platform, smoothing the lapels of her sharp, professional blazer. She took a deep breath, steeling herself for the chaos that was about to unfold. Being a city councilwoman was never a simple task, but today felt particularly volatile. Her colleague leaned in, a knowing smirk playing on his lips as he looked her up and down. "Look at you," he whispered, his tone teasing but entirely supportive. "Public servant by day, hottie by night." Melissa offered a wry, confident smile, though her stomach was doing a mild sequence of nervous flips. "Well," she replied, keeping her voice steady and light, "I have to turn on the heat during the day or nobody gets anything done." She stepped out into the open forum, taking her place at the podium. The red light on the broadcasting camera glowed like a tiny, judging eye. She adjusted the microphone, her posture impeccably straight. "The council story is up," she announced, her voice carrying a tone of measured authority that instantly commanded the room. "From now on, we are capping elementary school class size at 22 students." Before the applause could even begin to ripple through the supportive members of the crowd, a large, red-faced man shot up from the second row. He was a local restaurant owner, and the veins in his neck were visibly straining against his collar. "This is garbage," he bellowed, his voice booming over the microphone system, "which is piling up in front of my restaurant because you cut pickups to once a week." Melissa did not flinch. She had anticipated this exact argument. She leaned into the microphone, her expression remaining perfectly composed. "Well, a reduction in trash service is what pays for the smaller class sizes." Her colleague, watching from the wings, muttered in awe at her composure. Crazy guys with trash bags were coming at her, and she managed to stay the mature, rational adult. And yes, she absolutely did. Suck it, garbage guy, she thought to herself, though her outward expression remained a picture of diplomatic grace. But the peace was shattered almost immediately. Another man, his clothes slightly disheveled and his eyes wide with a frantic, unhinged energy, pushed his way toward the front aisle. He pointed a shaking finger directly at Melissa. "Hey, do not be that guy," someone in the crowd shouted, trying to intervene. Melissa held up a hand, asking for calm. "Do not be that guy that brings your garbage into a public arena and acts like a crazy person," she instructed the room, her voice projecting a motherly strictness. "Act like a gentleman. Thank you." The frantic man ignored the plea for civility. "Now, where the hell is the money your brother-in-law stole from me?" he screamed, his voice cracking with desperation and anger. A collective gasp swept through the studio audience. Melissa felt a sudden, sharp ache in her chest at the mention of her brother-in-law, Louis, the man who had ruined so many lives, including her own sister's. She gripped the edges of the podium, grounding herself in the present moment. "What, my sister?" Melissa asked, her tone shifting from politician to a woman simply trying to defend her own boundaries. "Okay, but that is not me." She stepped away from the podium and walked closer to the edge of the stage,